Welcome to Galaxy Omega. Hello everybody and welcome to eDIOCRACY, the show in which a bunch of idiots that have no clue in what the heck they are doing sit down and save the universe. Once again, I'm joined by the boys.
Yo.
And today we have another great episode for all of you. So let's jump straight into it and let's catch up on what happened last time. So, last time we left off, our adventurers, our space adventurers, headed off to the planet of Phoebus. As they got there, they found that there was a shuttle crashed after watching them basically form into a huge ball of fire heading straight toward the planet. They followed them, but they got a glimpse of a nearby warp ring that looks a little decommissioned, and found a lot of burns and things around the edges of it. But it didn't quite look like fire burns. They headed down to the surface, and they ended up talking to a few people over an intercom before they decided to head off and find this ship that had crashed. Once finding it, they found a couple people in critical condition. Luckily, no one was dead, but there was some that was not in the best of conditions. They helped them. They helped them by finding their way back to the GSU. But before they did, they realized after a quick scan of the ship, they realized inside the ventilation shafts and everything of the ship itself, there was a little bit of an ooze kind of forming around in there, still somewhat what looks to be alive. And so, without knowing what the space ooze is, they headed off to save the good old people they found. And, well, they luckily were able to save them in the meantime. Maybe not save them from death, but able to save their lives nonetheless. And then they headed back to Phoebus, where they met a few notable people, Grog being one of them. Apparently, for what they know, he is someone who does a little bit of some of the underground crime stuff for some people around there. And they also met a person who looked like to be some sort of bounty hunter, could be a crime syndicate lord, you never know, named Armand. And so, after playing a game between the captain and Armand, unfortunately the captain lost, but he was still able to get a little information out of him. And so, they headed back to the ship, and upon returning back to the ship, they found Grog, who very quickly found their special containers and decided to buy something off of them. If I'm correct, the Grog bought the ray gun from you guys, right?
Yeah, we sold the ray gun, but we kept the cloaking device because we thought that might come in handy later.
Yep. And so, after selling the ray gun, on Grog's way out, the captain quickly thought of a great idea to ask him to see if he knew anything about the space ooze. Well, unfortunately he did not, but he knew where to send them. He sent them straight back to the bar they were just at not too long ago to talk to the bartender this time, who, after taking them in the back, did a little bit of research on it, and unfortunately, they did not find any answers on what this ooze could be, but they did find themselves a lead of maybe how to find out what it is. And so, the bartender, apparently having a network of cameras throughout the entire city, showed them of a warehouse. They showed the inside of a warehouse with a lot of exotic creatures, just south of where they are, at a nearby landing strip. And so, with this information, they decided they would rest for the night, and possibility of being able to see if they can go find out some answers in the morning. And so, we return back to Vebus, where all of them on this ship are going to be enjoying a good night's rest and waking up to see what's up next and what's in store for our crew. And so, we move on to the crew, who's going to be waking up here. I can get this music to play. And as they wake up in the morning, Sid greets them. Some of them, of course, not out of bed yet, but Sid doesn't care nonetheless. And he greets them with a, "Hello, everybody, and wake the hell up, because we've got some mystery to solve."
Did you say that a little louder, Sid?
We've got some mystery to solve!
Yeah, thank you, Sid. Appreciate it very much.
No problem, Captain. Okay, so everybody, it's probably best we all meet up in the morning, so I'd say the best place probably to meet up in the captain's bridge room. Yes, that's what we're calling it now, because the captain didn't give me a name otherwise.
I mean,
Sounds good.
generic enough name. Sounds good to me.
Cool. So, I assume all of you get up and head off to the bridge room, right?
Yeah, there's nothing else for us to do at the moment. We're still...
Yep.
Yeah.
And okay. And so, we get everyone over there. Just kind of cram whoever we
It's
can.
gonna be a minute. The loading seems to keep being very slow on it, though.
Yep. I'll go on ahead and start moving some of these characters. Just kind of cram them in the room. Put them wherever the heck you want. Okay. So. Wait. Yeah, of course. Yes, use the bathroom. Yeah. You forgot to wash your hands. He walked in the room and go, "Oh shit, I gotta wash my hands," and then just walks out.
It's like Sid just like locks him into the bathroom until he washes his hands.
He forgot to close the door. Oh man. Okay. Let's move him there. There we go. Okay, so everybody is in there. Sid closes the door behind you guys. And so, y'all are kind of chilling in here at the moment. And so, then Sid starts up on the middle console there. And then you hear him go, "Well, it seems that we have a lot on our plate for today. Captain, would you like me to give the rundown?"
If you would, Sid.
Okay, rules on the ship. Number 1, please do not get off the ship unless the captain says so. Rule 2 on the ship, do not take the food that is labeled Captain Crickneck out of the crew fridge. And last but not least, if you decide to sleep during your shift, Captain Crickneck will throw you out of the ship's airlock before you have a chance to say, "Oh, hell no." Oh,
Sounds good.
wait, that was the wrong one. Sorry, sorry. Let me go through. Yes, here we go. Yesterday's findings here. Okay, so yesterday we ended up finding ourselves some good old space ooze inside that crash ship that we decided to steal stuff from.
Borrow without asking.
Yes, borrow without asking. I like the way you think. So,
Well put, friend.
yes, so we ended up taking that stuff and selling some of it and giving some away. Why did we give it away? Isn't it theirs?
Oh, it's just in case we had gotten scanned or something, you know.
That's a good point. Very good point. You see, you're doing great, Captain. You're doing great. It may seem you're very inexperienced and you have no clue what the heck you're doing, but honestly, I don't know what a good captain looks like. So you're doing great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Happy I can be the one that shows you what one looks like then.
Yeah. So, we ended up finding some space ooze on that ship, and, well, after going back and grabbing some samples and everything, it seems that we are ready to go find out what it is. From what I can remember in the logs of last night at around 8:57 p.m., but who's really keeping track? We ended up finding ourselves talking to the bartender, who name that I did not log, unfortunately. So if any of you remember, you've got the
Argo was his name.
Yes, Argo. Thank you. I will put that in my logs now. Okay, Argo has been saved. Okay, well, Argo was able to show us. It was able to show us a little bit of the space ooze's properties, and by that I mean the space ooze decided to latch to his face and try to melt it off. So we found out a couple cool things. The space ooze is in fact acidic, like we thought, and we have no idea what it is still. But he did show us on some cameras of the warehouse down toward the south. So if we want to head there today, we can. Now the question is though, are we planning on doing this the blunt, like walk in, try to convince them to show us the warehouse, or are we just planning on just trying to sneak in?
I mean, from what he showed us, did it look like anyone was at the warehouse? Based on the cameras and stuff.
Well, from my logs, it did not appear that anybody was at the warehouse at that time. However, it seems to be guards posted outside of the warehouse pretty much all times. And you see him pull tap into a camera like real quick and kind of show you, and you can see 2 guards outside of the front door and 1 outside the back door of the warehouse that he showed you.
Right. So, I mean, this is just for like looking for the ooze stuff, right? This wasn't because there was the other issue we're looking at is the missing crew, which is really our priority, or the missing not just crew, but just the missing GSU ships or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't determined if the ooze is in any way related to that or not.
From what you can remember, though, the reason that this intrigued you at all was because there was reports that GSU ships had just taken off from the airstrip with that warehouse recently.
Right.
And so one of your only leads is probably at that airstrip.
Got it. We should probably check that out then. Let's see if we can find the leads. Have we installed the cloaking module yet? Or is that going to take some time?
No, because you do... actually, wait a minute. Yeah, y'all took out a cargo bay to put the cloaking module.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all spent the night doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess to go over that, so the cloaking module, what are the capabilities? Is that like our ship goes invisible, or is that just to hide like special cargo or something like that?
Your ship doesn't... Okay, so your ship will go invisible for a certain amount of time. It can go up to, I think I have it as a minute.
Okay.
So for 1 minute, it'll be invisible. While you're invisible, it will in fact turn off all of your weapons.
Right.
so you're not able to shoot things while you're invisible and everything.
Got it.
But it's good for stopping it. As for scans, if a ship happens to scan an area, what it will do is it'll basically give them penalties on scanning the area and finding your ship while you're using it. So technically you can be scanned, and if your cloaking module happens to be on and they scan your ship, that scan can in fact like find out what's in the cargo. It doesn't hide anything in the cargo. It just hides the ship entirely.
Gotcha.
But you do know that there's common knowledge that there's kind of illegal stealth modules that are built just for cargo bays.
Right.
But you do not have those because you are on a Magic Donut Incorporated ship.
Right. It's not a full blown. It's not like the Millennium Falcon with like 20 million different hiding places. It's not a smuggling ship. It's a shipping ship.
Yep.
So got it. All right.
I guess we can always add smuggling spots. So
It's always an option. But right. So
So, with your lead, how do y'all want to start all of this?
Well, we should probably get in there one way or another.
yeah.
Whether we do stealth or just brazenly walk in.
there could be a way to get there if there's like. Nah, no, never mind.
What are you thinking over there?
Do we know anything of the outside structure? Sid, what's the outside structure looking like, Sid?
The outside structure is made of 100% steel. 100% steel can be melted with thermite. Do we have thermite?
Does it have any vents leading outside big enough for a small person?
Let me check. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, the warehouse is looking to be 15 feet tall, so unless we have about a 14-foot ladder, you're not going to reach the top of this thing.
Well, how close can the ship get, though?
I haven't thought about that one. Let me check. It can get very close. Unfortunately, with other warehouses actually nearby that place, if we were to stick the ship next to it, we would, in fact, to get you in the vent, be within a 6-inch threshold of smacking into another building. If you would like to attempt this, I can put it in my protocols to do an emergency self-destruct if we ever get caught.
We'll consider it. I'm sure. Hopefully we won't have to use that.
I see. Well, I will keep that thing offline for now, because honestly, I don't feel like blowing up. As for the event itself, please do understand that if we were to fly in a restricted airspace without any type of permission whatsoever, and to attempt to, well, sneak, quote-unquote, sneak in while doing this, not only will the ship be scanned and everyone on board, but on top of that, we may be shot out of the sky before we ever get to the vent.
Is there some kind of fire escape on this building?
Even though the only quote-unquote fire escape there is toward the back door, and that was installed recently, it seems. I don't think this place has many fire safety codes involved. It probably on the account that this is more of a smuggling planet, and they don't really care about laws.
So I'm guessing there's not that many windows, if any, on it.
There is one window toward the east side of the building, opposite from where the ventilation is. The unfortunate part is that this window happens to be, well, about 12 feet up. And like I said before, we do not have a ladder long enough to reach up there.
We have no idea who's like residing over this warehouse, right?
Unfortunately,
Nice.
we do not.
All right. A reminder: we're going to this warehouse because it's got some sort of. Were we given an idea of what sort of clues we would be finding, or just?
All you know is that this warehouse on the inside had exotic creatures like in cages and stuff
Got
in the
it.
warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about that for a moment.
This
BRB.
might just be a case of sending in a small crew to investigate. Where could we
Well-
go buy a ladder or something then?
We might need two.
Let's see, let me check something real quick. Monsters.
I mean, we could try diplomacy if you really wanted to, but
We could.
that would blow the whole idea of we want to get in there.
So you wanted to get yourself a ladder, correct?
Yeah.
Currently
or
on the ship, you do have a 6-foot ladder.
Okay.
Just so you know.
just a 6 foot though.
Yes, but if you were to go buy a ladder, I mean, you can go on ahead and do that. Let me look at. I gotta do some calculations here. Ladders is not typically a thing people buy in space
Right.
RPGs.
Sure.
Yeah, so, how long of a ladder did you want?
What's a 15-footer looking like, maybe? What types do they have? I guess would be the more.
Let's see, if you would like a... Okay, so if you would like a decent, 15-foot ladder, so pretty much it's going to be about 10 credits per foot, so it's 150 for a 15-foot.
Got it.
So...
Okay.
Yep.
We'll keep that on the side for now.
Okay, but do keep in mind you're going to have to carry a 15-foot ladder
Yeah,
past
that's the other
security.
thing is you have to run through that. And what's the security looking like around this place? Is it like gated off or something?
Oh,
or...
I think he
Um,
said there's cameras in the
one-
surrounding area. A guard, one in the back, maybe two in the front too.
Right.
So from what Sid can explain and everything, the security looks a little light. It looks a little light. There's a few warehouses that has some like higher security, but the one you're specifically looking at is one of the lighter security ones. It has 2 in the front and then 1 guard in the back. But he does say that there are people who like patrol around it. There's like a couple patrols that go around it, and and every once in a while they do. It looks like they do like twice a day. They do inspections. Like going like inspections of the building itself. So
Right.
and there's about 4 to 5 guards that typically walk in and inspect everything.
Got it. Okay.
Do we know names they do the inspections?
Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough data for that because he's only been able to find logs of like 3 days, and while the nightly inspections are typically around 8 p.m., the morning inspections are a little more random.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, so they do one in the morning and one at night, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, we can time it so we're not doing it during inspection time. That ought to help with avoiding suspicion from that angle. All right. What's everyone's like stealth capabilities or like mobility as far as that kind of stuff goes? What are we looking
I
at?
have to say I'm pretty clumsy, and Peter here, he's more of a go loud kind of person.
Char just kind of explains that he's not really that much into stealth kind of thing,
Right.
but says that he should be decently stealthy.
Okay. Whiskers is also decently. Stealthy as
And
well.
we don't know much more than it's just some kind of smuggling operation.
Yeah.
Exotic animals or creatures, I should say.
Alright, got cameras and stuff. What does it take to hack into cameras and stuff like that?
Well, if you have someone who is proficient in some type of hacking, typically an intelligence officer or an engineer could be trained in this. However, they would have to be under a field that deals with computers. Intelligence officer, what are you trained in?
I'm mainly into more of research,
I see.
if that's what you're asking.
Do you have a type of research?
What do you mean, what type of research?
Like, is this like, does this research involve researching like life forms or researching into technological means?
It's just like more of a generalized researching kind of thing.
Hmm.
So just
I see. You like to help the common household cold, but it seems you're not going to invent anything to get you a Nobel Galaxy Prize.
kinda, yeah. I like to.
Well, unfortunately, you are useless in this situation. Engineer, what about you?
Well, computers kind of come with the gig, so.
Okay, well, it seems our engineer is our best hope. Unless any of you have any chance of hacking into a computer that could, in fact, set off an alarm for an entire spaceport. Nope. Okay. Well, it seems that it could come down to either our engineer officer, or it could come down to me. Now, I will say, I am very good at hacking. I'm not very good at not setting off alarms, though. So, with the calculations I currently have, we have approximately a 33.72% chance that I will set off an alarm. And with our engineering officer, we have roughly a 20% chance of setting off an alarm.
Even better odds. I like those odds.
The unfortunate part is that that's only on a success. If we actually put it into work on seeing if we can hack into it, if we go with the better odds option of using the engineering officer, we have a roughly 47.26% chance that he will actually successfully be able to do this without setting off an alarm.
Got it. So.
Or we could just get a really big battering ram and just bash at the door. It's a lot louder, but at least you'll be in there faster than they'll be able to get in there.
Yeah, this might be a case of taking a couple of stealthy guys, plus someone with some guns, just in case things get hairy. Like, this is just supposed to be a get in, get out, sort of. Get in, get the information, get out, before stuff gets too serious, so. We're looking at for teleporter technology. Anything on this ship at all? Or it's all just physically walking around?
Well, there are teleporters located throughout the airport itself, but it doesn't seem like the teleporters are actually to anywhere on this planet. I can't figure out what the other two do, but I do know that there is one located on the east side of the platform. This one apparently leads straight to a planet off to the east. I do not see a name for this, but its coordinates kind of lead a little far off. Probably, I would say, it's about 3/4 of the way back toward Magic Donut Incorporated on Lido.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure. And it also looks like this hasn't been used for a while, so... Well, with that being said, it's probably best we don't use that unless we want to be completely farther off course than we are right now.
Yeah, probably not.
So, what are the alarm systems?
Well, other than a loud blaring alarm to tell everybody I'm here, there are different levels of it. The one we will be triggering is the huge "I'm here" button. But if for some weird reason, if you screw this up even further, you could have the weapons come online. And these are big, massive turrets that could probably send this ship down into a drink in about 6 seconds. And on top of that, well, if it gets too bad, then apparently the place is set to self-destruct.
It's always good news.
Wait, why would you put a self-destruct button in a smuggling? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
Are they connected to doors?
Wait, you wanna hack into something that is connected to a self-destruct button?
I mean, what do you think, Sid? What do you think would be a good approach on this?
Well, the way I see it, there's 3 random approaches. Well, the first one is the very obvious one. We grab our guns, we grab our wits, and we go in really freaking loud. The unfortunate part is I don't think taking a ship with us is a good option in this regard, considering the fact is, well, their really big guns are more likely to come out if they see a really big ship. So it's probably best if you go on foot for that one. That and also, I don't really want to get shot.
Okay.
The second option, of course, is the stealth option. It's going to be slightly, I mean, it'll probably be on equal levels of difficult, as you're going to have to sneak across the compound itself to a random warehouse that's located almost in the center. But, I mean, if you do it successfully, well, there you go. You're at the warehouse, and you should be able to get in just fine. You might need to knock out somebody, which, that would also be kind of an issue. If we could avoid that, it'd be great. But yeah, there's the stealth option. And then the last one is, well, we just trick them all into thinking you work there.
That might work. Is there any shipments near that warehouse?
Well, looking here on the cameras, it looks like there's a couple other ones. There are shipments in Cargo Bay 6, Cargo Bay 7. There's another one in Cargo Bay 2, which is a little bit further down the compound. Perfect, right here. If we actually head over to Cargo Bay 14, you will have a direct path going straight past the warehouse that you need to go to, which could allow you to get in pretty close without anyone noticing.
Alright.
But the unfortunate part is that, well, if they find you kind of lurking around the warehouse and you are halfway across the compound, it could raise a few suspicions.
I mean, that's to be expected if we're not careful. Which I'm sure our crew would be very, very...
Yes,
good
the
at
other
doing.
option here is that I could connect us to Cargo Bay 5, which happens to be right behind the warehouse. It's a long shot idea, but we could always try to print out some type of fake orders and tell you to basically go to the wrong warehouse.
I'm gonna try that. Try a combo. Yeah, we'll try that. Why not? That
Okay.
seems to be
Well,
our best bet.
the only thing about the ID orders themselves is that in order to do that, you will have to go into the comm station and use their printer. because unfortunately they have decryption codes that are used on their on all of their orders, and I can't seem to crack those.
I'm sure we can find a way to get those as needed.
Basically, regardless of what we're doing, it's going to be a bit of work.
Yeah.
It does seem to be the case. I mean, it's either we do that or we can go ask our brand new friend Armand Colorado to go in and figure out something for us.
I was thinking about doing that too. Maybe he can at least get some options.
Yeah,
So-
maybe you can give us forged paperwork.
Or maybe he can even connect us to someone who might be able to help.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
We've got our options. We'll go speak to Armand too to see what else we can get. Maybe we can
Awesome.
hire some.
Well,
hands,
while you do that, I will be doing a search on anything I can find on this planet for Armand Colorado. You know, just in case he decides to try to backstab us.
Yeah. Just
Well, backstab you. I don't really have a back.
yeah.
Preventative measures.
Yes, but if he kills every single one of you on the ship, well, guess what? I die too, because that's in my programming, apparently.
Oh, fun.
Yes, so please don't die. Not
Is
for
that
your
why
sake,
they
it's for
wanted
my
to
sake.
put a heart? Is that why I have a heart monitor in my body?
No, that has literally nothing to do with me.
Oh.
Wow, I should really start scanning you people more often. There could be a bomb in you, and I wouldn't even know.
Riveting. Anyway,
And then you just see it. You just see like a grid scan of around the room, and you just hear a little ding, and it just goes,
Yep, I was right. There's no bombs inside of any of you.
That's good to know.
But that would have been a really cool anticlimactic twist. You know,
Well, I
with
don't-
us blowing up there.
I don't think spaceports would allow us to have bombs in us and be
Yeah,
at them.
That's a good point there.
That is a very good point.
Pretty sure there's some sort of regulations behind that.
No, doesn't seem to be.
Huh.
Well, at least not at this one. Probably at others. So if you want to bring bombs, have fun.
I think we're good. I think we can handle it without having to be too explosive about it. Too noisy. Keep the noise low.
Well, good luck, and if you need me, well, I'm always watching.
Yep. Let us know if you find anything on Armand as we start heading out to go
Roger that, Captain.
find him. I'm assuming we would just find him at the bar again.
Who's all going with you? Or who's all going to look for him?
Well, since it's not stealth, we'll do captain, weapons, and which one is one of yours, Alex?
I've got engineer and I've got the
Intelligence, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll do intelligence, captain, intelligence, and weapons. Go with that. So, yeah, we'll head on off to find Armand.
okay. So all of you make your way back to the bar from once before. And so, as you make your way back, you end up walking inside. You see it's quite not so busy. It seems like, it's the morning, so of course it's not really that busy. And you walk inside and you look in the back where you typically see Armand, and you don't in fact see him anywhere in there. But you do see Argo, the bartender. It looks like he's just kind of like sitting there in a chair behind the bar, looking like he's waiting on people.
Okay. We'll go on. Walk up to Argo then. Be like, greetings. Are you in?
I thought I said I didn't need to see you again.
Oh, we're not here to see you. We're looking for Armand, but we were wondering if you knew of any of his other hangout locations, if any.
Something I've learned out here is don't pry into people who are like Armand, I guess you could say. Little bastard's kind of everywhere, you know, getting in trouble pretty much wherever he can.
I see.
While I don't know where he is at the current moment, he does end up coming here every night. Typically, gets here probably around 6 p.m. and likes to hang out for a while.
Alright.
So, there are a few days he'll get here by 2, but it's not very often he does that.
Alright, well, we're a little pressed for time, so probably have to pass on that one for now then. Alright, well. Hey, so that, maybe you might know something. So that warehouse you were telling us about.
Yeah, what about it?
Say what?
What about it?
Oh, you wouldn't happen to know anyone who could get us in there, would you?
Nope.
Cool. Just thought I'd ask. Alright, well, you have a good one, and I'll drop him like 5 silver for the tip.
And-
We'll be on our way.
And you see him, kind of just take it and just slides it into his pocket and he goes, and, if you do see Armand, tell him he still owes me.
Will do, if we happen to see him. No. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and make our way out, since there's not really any reason for us to stick around here for much longer.
Yep.
Alright, well, looks like stealth it is. We'll have to find a way to forge some papers.
Captain,
How
if
do
I
we-
could slide in here with a quick suggestion, maybe
Yeah.
we should go to that other place that that we were told before.
Which other one was that again? Remind me, Sid.
It was an old abandoned warehouse.
Oh yeah,
not
yeah,
that
just the
far.
old abandoned one. It's not that far. Yeah, we can go land there. Like, as long as we don't have to forge anything to get there. I'm assuming it'll be a walk to get there or whatever is the drawback, but
Well, by the description of it, it's it's roughly about a 30-minute walk.
oh, yeah.
If you would like to, we can always request to move the ship to a landing pad near there.
We could.
The only unfortunate part behind that is if they say no, well, then we can't.
So we can land there, ask for a request to move, and then they can move us. If they don't move us, it's just a 30-minute walk.
Pretty much.
Got it. We'll try
Sounds
that.
good.
Sounds good.
Okay, I will ask for permission now.
All right.
Okay, so it seems that they do not mind, but it will be a 50 credit transfer fee.
We can do that for now.
Okay, roger that.
Are you sure you don't want to walk?
I mean, if we get into trouble, that's going to be a 30-minute run in the end. Whereas if we can get closer and we do get into trouble, we don't have to run as far, you know? So.
You know, I have to say, Captain, that is some very smart thinking. I am very glad I have you as a captain. You don't like to take shit from people. You'll run away. And that's a smart idea.
It's always a smart idea. He who runs away lives to see another day.
Exactly. I like your thinking.
Alright, well,
If he ever kills over and dies, well, none of you are being captain next, because I don't think any of you could pull up this kind of idea. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the engineer back on the ship could probably have the same ideas too.
yeah, I'm sure Benjamin could get some really good ideas going if you really wanted to.
Okay. Well, it seems we've got all the clearance and everything. Would you like me to go ahead and transfer the credits?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'll pull it from my personal.
Okay.
my
And
personal-
would you? Yeah. And also, question, Captain. Would you like to walk back to the ship and then fly over there, or would you like me to just tell the crew on the ship to fly it over?
Let's get back to the ship before we fly over. 'cause
I
that
think-
would be-
Roger that.
I think the better question here is, do you trust Film with the ship?
Do I trust who? Benjamin? Not Benjamin.
No, everyone else who's on the ship
Wow.
who's a pilot.
So
That's a good point. Wait, did y'all take the pilot with you?
no, she's back on the ship.
Yeah, I figured. That's why
Yeah.
that's why I gave the option.
So we'll you can wait for us to meet up back on the ship, and then we'll get apart. Unless we're talking about like leaving here, getting to the ship, and go. Unless I'm misunderstanding the situation or something.
you leave the bar, go to the ship, and then fly over to the other landing pad.
Right.
Everyone.
Yeah, with everyone. So, or you
Yeah.
can have them just fly it to the new place while you just take a leisurely walk to the warehouse.
Yeah, we could try that because we gotta get to the warehouse anyway. So how
So-
far is the warehouse to walk from here?
It's a 30-minute walk.
Okay,
30.
just from here.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do that.
Or we could.
Then park
walk
the
back
ship nearby.
and-
Yeah.
This is gonna take time for us to walk back to the ship anyway. So it's either walk back to the ship and fly over and get out, or just
Yeah.
Start walking now.
it just saves you like a 20-minute walk.
gotcha. Yeah, we can do that.
So the only difference is you can go to the ship, get there faster, or you could just spend the extra few minutes walking and I don't know, explore I guess a bit more. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, you can get a nice little view. This is kind of the recon team right now. Anyway, Captain's not trained in stealth, but he's still a little decent
Yeah.
on it. So
Okay. So, I guess you end up walking off toward the warehouse.
all right.
You get directions from Sid, and he kind of walks you toward it, and y'all get toward the you get closer to the warehouse, and on the way you find you see a couple shops. There's some shops that like there's a general store that sells a bunch of random things. There's a clothing shop. You even see a small little kind of a smaller warehouse that it looks like it's got a huge garage door that has a bunch of like ship parts and auto mechanicals kind of around. You even notice there's like a scrap robot walking around, kind of just hauling like a big crate, pretty much back and forth.
Okay.
So there's even like a gun store on the way. And by the way, if you want to stop any of these, let me know.
And we're kind of pressed for time at the moment.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So you end up finding like a gun store and a few other weapon shops that end up having some cool stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, you get some nice beautiful sights and you make your way toward. You start to notice the shops kind of start disappearing as you start walking down toward a little bit of the shadier part of town, where
Right.
you end up finding the abandoned warehouse. And just on the outside of it, you find one guard standing outside of a door. There are other doors that you see around, but it looks like that most of those have been like boarded up with wood and some scrap metal and things, and this looks like to be the only door that might be openable with what you see an orc standing out in front of it.
Got it. See, when is the inspection team supposed to be here? Is that still some time off at this point?
What?
The inspection. When is the inspection team supposed to be
We
here?
don't.
This is
We don't know
not. This
yet.
is not that warehouse.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else. Okay.
You're thinking
Alright.
of the warehouse you're trying to actually sneak into.
Right.
It-
This is which
this-
warehouse was this?
This is that random warehouse that I believe Armand told you about. And he
okay.
also gave you a description keyword to get in.
One? Right.
But he gave you a phrase or something.
I think you did. I don't remember if I wrote that down though.
I think you did because you asked for it twice.
Look for info. Is this warehouse B4 or was that the one? Is that the one we're trying to get to?
This one, 222. Is this? Let's see.
Yeah.
No, I think-
asking you twice. I don't know if.
I think
It's
I
saved
think
or
B4
not.
is the warehouse you're trying to sneak into at the airport. This
Gotcha.
is more of like a, I guess you could say like a smuggler's hangout, like almost like a little
Was
casino.
this the one? Was his phrase the one about the orc and the tutu or whatever?
Yes,
Tutu
it did
orc?
this one. Yeah.
All right, I remember writing that down. I don't see it here in my notes, so but I do remember writing it down. It was something about like a green orc that loves tutus or something like that.
Let's see.
Does anybody else have that written down? Strong green orcish man who loves tutus.
Yes, that one.
There we go. Alright, found it.
Okay.
I accidentally deleted it. I don't know why.
Okay. So, I mean, you arrive at the warehouse.
Right.
How would you like to proceed?
He said to ask for a strong green orcish man who loves tutus, right? Was how he put it.
I think it was pretty pink tutu.
Loves.
Um,
He said pink tutus or just tutus?
yeah, I think he said to ask for it.
Okay, yeah. I'll just walk up to the guard and like, I'm here looking for a strong green orcish man who loves tutus.
And you see the orc man, you know, he's looking straight forward, kind of like past you, and then his eyes kind of divert towards you for a moment, and he goes, "Ugh, close enough." And then he elbows the door behind him, and they end up opening up.
Alright.
And he goes, "Before you enter, there's a couple rules. One, you don't tell anyone about this place unless you have permission from one of the 5 council members. Number 2, while you're inside, if you lose any money, that's not our problem. And last, if you plan on playing any of the games inside, just keep in mind, we're not liable if you get shot."
I'll keep that in mind. I'll like kind of like nod his head, tip his hat or whatever
Okay,
as he enters.
okay, you can go in.
Alright.
And then you'll walk on in. And upon entering, you immediately notice a smell of. So you notice that there's a smell of like it smells like a bunch of garbage and like a bunch of garbage and rot and everything. But like
Right.
it's like overly masked by like tons and tons of like perfume
Right.
as you walk in, but you can still smell that little bit of hint of like things rotting on the walls and everything. You see pieces of wood just completely broken and rotted away, and there's even like a hole in the ceiling, and you can like there's a hole in the ceiling like to your left, and you can notice that like there's a huge like a puddle stain, but it doesn't look like there's water over there. It looks like it's just like oil in like rusted metal just sitting over on the side.
Right.
But toward the center of the floor of the warehouse, you do notice that it is set up like pretty much like a casino. There's like slot machines off to the side. There's like a bunch of like tables that have like different card games. The card game you played with Armand the previous day, that is there. There's also like regular poker tables and stuff like that kind of sitting around.
Right.
But you do notice in the very back there is a set of stairs that leads up to what looks to be a shipping container kind of set up on stilts that kind of overlook the entire casino.
Okay. Is there anyone like guarding those stairs, or is it just like there?
You notice that there are 2 guards at the bottom of each set of stairs. There's one on the left, one on the
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
And you notice 2 at the bottom there, and then at the top of both of those sets of stairs are another 2 guards that are at the doors up there.
Got it. Okay. Sid, do you remember what kind of help we were supposed to find here?
That I am not 100% sure. My best guess is that we probably need to go, well, against all of my warnings and cautions that are currently in my programming. That our best bet's probably go talk to whoever is up there.
Alright. Up in the shipping container.
Yeah.
Or...
He implies they're in the shipping container.
Alright, well, let's see if they stop us. As they'll start making his way to the bottom of the set of the stairs.
Yep. So you start making your way past and all the people. You see games being played and everything, and every once in a while you'll even see like a poker game gone bad, and you'll see someone kind of slam down their cards and goes, "This is rigged!" and they pull out a weapon, and then you see the dealer quickly pull out a flintlock and shoot him in his stomach, and the guy just falls over and dies. And like as you're walking away, you notice the like 2 guards come over, grab him, and just drag him away, and the other ones are just sitting there unfazed, just continuing to play.
All right.
So, but
So
yeah,
they're all packing in here. Good to know.
Yep. So you make your way toward the stairs, and as you approach it, are you planning on taking the left or the right stairs?
Does it seem to matter at all?
The left stairs,
kinda...
the left stairs has 2 goblins sitting at the bottom of it. The right set of stairs has it looks to be a kobold and an orc.
All right.
So whichever ones you're choosing.
Yeah, we'll go to the right set of stairs first.
Okay. Over with the kobold and orc, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So you walk over to the right set of stairs, and as you approach, you hear a voice just goes, "Stop! I will need to see some identification, please."
Sid, do we have any IDs on us?
We have our Magic Donut Incorporated IDs.
That'll do, and I'll produce the Magic Donut ID.
So
I mean, this is the best I got.
Yeah.
It's...
So you end up basically what happens, you put out your watch and a hologram of the ID shows up.
Okay.
And as you are you showing it to the kobold or the orc?
The orc was the one that asked, right?
You don't know. You heard a voice. You didn't decipher which.
Alright, I'll show it to the orc first.
So you go to show it to the orc. The orc kind of just looks at you kind of weird, and then he looks over at the kobold, and then the kobold turns and goes, He's here just for I guess you could say intimidation factor.
Alright, so you're the real boss man in these parts then.
No, boss man's up top, but I gotta make sure that you're good before I can let you through.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Here's my magic donut ID right here. Just looking to pass through. We've got some business we need to take care of.
George, did the boss man order some more donuts again? And then you see the orc turn over and he goes,
I don't know, Captain. I'm not entirely sure. He never tells me anything.
and you slightly shocked. You look back over to the kobold and he just goes, he face palms and just goes, okay, we'll just, gosh. I guess I wouldn't put it past him to buy some more donuts. Going ahead and make your way up. Just tell the guy at the top of the stairs that you're with the Magic Donut Incorporated.
All right, I'll do. Appreciate the business.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh.
So y'all end up
Continue up the
walking.
steps.
Yep, y'all walk up to the top of the steps, and at the top of the steps, you see a goblin standing there, and he's got a spear in his hand, and he just kind of, he doesn't exactly point it at you, but he kind of tilts it, like he ends up grabbing it a little bit, like he's ready to just turn it if needed.
Yeah,
And-
I'll show him my hologram ID and be like, no worries, we're just here with the magic donuts. We're just need to speak to the boss man.
Yep.
Oh,
You-
that is-
You see him kind of look at the ID, and then he looks up at you. You see him point his spear towards you, and then he bashes it backwards into the doorknob behind him, and it seems that he twists it like it's a key.
Huh.
And then he pulls it
That's it.
out. Like as he pulls it out, you see the door just kind of pop open, like very slowly, and he goes,
Right.
"Go on in when you're ready."
Alright. I think we're ready. We'll go on in.
So you head inside, and you see like five people sitting around a table, and there's like about 6 guards around the room.
Gotcha.
And you also notice the door that's from the other side of the shipping container there. But there's a small table kind of sitting there toward the side, and you see 5 people sitting there, and they're all just playing cards. 2 of them that you see, you find Armand sitting on the far side, and then Grog sitting right next to him.
I'm surprised.
And then you see 3 other individuals kind of just sitting there playing. But you notice that the amount of poker chips that they're playing with, and the amount is like a lot more than what was down at the bottom.
Right. This is
Um,
where all the big ones play.
So, and as you walk in, you see a glance from Armand, and he goes, "Well, looks like we've got some friends here. Welcome. Hey, y'all come to play?"
Not today. We've got some business we're trying to attend to, and we're looking for some information, or maybe even for some maybe even hire someone if anyone's up for it.
I see. Well, I'm I'm having a little troubles here. You see, right now we're playing a little bit of poker right now, and I'm wondering if you could help me a little bit. And he kind of waves you to like come on over.
Right. We'll go on over, I guess.
So you go over, and first off, do you know anything about poker?
As far as like the hands and stuff, like 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, straights, flush, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily remember what order they all go in
Okay.
and stuff, but I know the
Well,
gist of it.
yeah, you go over there and you find that he's got a flush, but the flush only goes to about a 9 high,
Okay.
and you're just like, now, and he kind of whispers and he goes, okay, now, I could, I could go in here, I could go in here and I could increase my bet here, but the problem is I'm not sure if any of the others have any cards that are like mine. Any chance you want to help me? And maybe I can return the favor?
I mean, it would depend on the level of favor you'd be returning.
Well, depends on how good you are.
Can't say I'm either good nor bad. I don't really do much of the gambling myself, unfortunately. Maybe one of these other fellas, and I'll point to intelligence and weapons officer, and be like, maybe one of these other fellas might be down to help you out with this one.
Well, if you could find someone in the next 10 seconds, I would gladly appreciate the help.
Either of you guys want to take the bullet on this one, or whatever the phrase is?
What was the hand again?
He's got a
9 high flush.
9 high flush.
A 9 high flush.
I'm assuming that just means the 9s are the highest.
Yeah, it's the highest.
Yeah.
So that means if someone had a flush and had a 10 or a better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I say he plays it too.
So
I mean, like, go in.
you're saying no. He's implying that he wants you to find out what the others have and tell him. So then he knows what to play.
Full house and 3 of a kind, but no.
How many people are at the table, by the way?
There's 5 of them. So there's 4
Okay.
others that he needs to figure out quickly.
Intelligence is going to go behind someone and just kind of be like, so how much you guys playing for? And just kind of like look at the guy's cards.
Okay. I'm going to need you to give me let's do a deception check.
Such that. Okay, give me a second.
A deception or stealth. I'll say one of those.
You didn't want to do distraction? Or
What?
performance? So deception. 21.
Okay. So you go behind somebody, and you notice that they have 2 pairs, which a flush still beats.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to the other side of the table first and working your way back to Armand, or the opposite?
Yeah, like I'm gonna go like behind some, but I'm gonna go a bit like more so like in between like 2 people kind of thing. So it's like I can get like a bit closer to the table.
Okay, so you were looking for both. Like you were looking at both.
I'm looking for like 2 people. Trying to
Okay.
look at 2 people.
So are you doing it on the opposite side of his table? Opposite side of the table
Yeah.
from Armand, though.
Yeah, but like as I'm doing, I'm asking like, so how high is the wager? So you guys are going.
Okay. So on the other side of the table, you find there's a goblin there, and then you see a Strix, both kind of sitting there. Strix is barely holding onto the cards themselves with its talons, and the Strix turns over and just goes,
Well, it all depends. I've got quite the sum here. If you could tell me what Armand's got, it would definitely help. But you notice that one's got a pair and another one's got 2 pairs.
Okay.
So, but he does in fact tell you that they don't really have a limit that they're playing to.
No, I was asking like, what's the baseline kind of thing? Like, what's the baseline buy-in that they're doing?
Baseline buy-in's about like 500 credits.
Okay. So these guys are the high rollers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're in this special area at the time.
Okay.
I'm trying like a good reason to go over to. You said there's 2 other people.
Yep, and you got to decide. Like, you got to decide within the next 10 seconds.
I guess Char is going to like casually like walk over to in between the other two guys and be like, "So what's so where are you guys at right now?"
As in, like, bet wise.
Yeah, where they at that's you know.
Cool. Give me a deception or a stealth.
6.
And well, you quickly get a glance at the at one of their cards. You get a glance over at Grog's cards, and you notice that he's got pretty much it's just like it's a king high, which isn't a whole lot, but he is technically one away from a flush, but regardless, it's just a king high, and he looks a little kind of like he doesn't really like notice you that much because he's not really paying attention. He's more like irritated because that's all he's got.
Yeah.
As for the other one there, you see them like turn their cards like away from you, and it's just like you can look at the table, can't you?
Where's the fun in that?
But yeah, you don't get to see the other one's cards.
Okay.
And so that's everybody's there.
Yeah. So Char's gonna make his way around to, you said Armand?
Mm-hmm.
Or is Char's gonna like make his way around to Armand and just kind of like try to do like a little bit of, like more friendly chatter, but just kind of like casually like whisper to Armand what he saw.
Okay, what'd you see?
I saw someone with 2 pairs. I saw 1 pair. Big guy over there's got a king high, and I didn't see the last one.
And Armand goes, So, do you think I should go all in on this? As you look and you see about 6,000 credits, like sitting in his reserves.
I say sure. I want to see him lose his shirt off his back.
Well, there's a good chance you win here, but I'm not sure about what the last guy's got there, so...
I mean, flushes are still pretty high, right? Like, you really need like another flush or even a straight to.
Yeah,
see one of
it's
those,
pretty
right?
it's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you want to go all in, that's on you.
And he just goes. He kind of just goes, well, he goes, I can. He's like, but you know what? I want to know what you really want. Like, what do you think how much do you think I should play?
You know what? I always say, in for a penny, in for a pound. You should go all the way.
All in? Okay.
All the way.
And so you just so you see Grog kind of like he kind of just you see Grog fold real quick as he gets back to him, and then Armand just kind of looks over all them and goes, well, I gotta say, feel a little ballsy today. And he pushes all 6,000 credits in. He goes, I'm going all in. And you see the one pair just throw his cards down in anger as he folds. And but you notice, but you end up noticing that the 2 others kind of stay in there. So you've got the 2 pair and the unknown. you see the two pair over there kind of like sit there, and he ponders for a second, and then you see the goblin kind of push in a bunch of money there, basically meeting his bet, and he goes, "I'm gonna call your bluff," as he pushes it all in, and then as he gets back to and as he gets back to the other individual there, you notice they don't really say anything. They just kind of look over at Armand and toward the goblin, and then they just slowly push over. And so the difference that you notice is that this guy, he's not playing with like poker chips. He's playing with he's not playing with like the poker like circular chips. He's using the big rectangle chips, and he just pushes over 6,000. But you notice that there's like a stack of them still sitting there, and he pushes the 6,000 in. And with that, the quote-unquote dealer tells them to reveal their cards, and Goblin goes over there. He puts down his cards, revealing that he had the two pairs. You notice that the other individual kind of looks at Armand, just goes, "So, what you got? What you got, Armand? It's got to be something good." And Armand goes over there and he goes, "Well, let's see if you could beat this." And he puts down the his cards of a 9 high flush, and then you just kind of notice that the other one there just kind of looks at him a little bit, and he looks a little surprised and goes, "That's pretty good. But unfortunately," and he slaps down his cards, and you find that it is, in fact, a 4 of a kind. And Armand just kind of looks at it and just like, "What's it? You did?" And he kind of like whispers over, "Y'all didn't say that you had that."
I didn't see his cards.
And you see him facepalm a little bit, and the guy goes over there, grabs, it kind of like starts scooping up the chips, and he goes, "Well, it's been nice playing with all of you."
I didn't think there was a 4 of a kind.
Pretty sure there's even a 5 of a kind. Those are super rare. Hardly ever see those.
What?
So I'm pretty sure there's a 5 of a kind. Those are like super rare.
Yeah, I can tell you
it's
don't
only-
gamble.
Nope.
It's only found in cheaters.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so y'all kind of sit there. The guy grabs the chips. You see him pull out what looks to be a briefcase that has slots of chips, and he just kind of starts slotting them in. And he kind of salutes them all and just walks on out right after that, while the others are just like in defeat after that. So, oh, and just to let you guys know, the 4 of a kind was it was all kings.
Yeah. Pretty high. Oh well.
Wait, all kings?
Johnny, what were the other? What did everyone else have, by the way? If you don't mind me
Didn't
asking.
someone have a king high?
What was that, Waffle?
Yeah. Didn't you say? Wait, you said that Grog has a king high. That means that there was 5 kings. That means that fucker.
Dang.
Oh wow. I didn't know card sets come with 5 kings.
We got played good, man.
Yeah, that's a really good play there.
Char is going to whisper to Armand that how did he have 4 kings when Grog had 1 of the kings?
And you see Armand's face kind of like a shocked, angry look, and he stands up just as the guy's about to walk out the door, and he goes, "Wait a second!" And you see the guy turn around. He looks at Armand and goes,
Do we have a problem?
Yeah, we do. You just placed down 4 kings. He goes, yeah, I had 4 of a kind. Yeah, how did you have 4 kings when Grog's got 1 of them? And the rest of them just look at him kind of weird. And Grog like even picks up his head and goes, "Yeah, I've got 1 of the kings." And he pulls up his hand and it reveals that he only has 4 cards and the king's missing.
Oh, so he stole a card.
He goes, "Wait, how do I only have 4 cards?" He's like, "You slimy little snake!" And you just see the other guy kind of look over and go, "It's not my fault that the dealer only dealt you 4 cards." And then the goblin looks over and goes, "I call bullshit on that! You knew exactly what you were doing." Well, of course, that's how I beat all of you. And you see the door kind of close next to the guy, and and a couple guards start walking toward him, and he goes, "Well, I was hoping it didn't have to come to this." And you see him kind of you see his hand come up, and he's got what looks to be a rod with a button on it, almost looking like a detonator of some kind. He goes, "I wouldn't step any closer. You see, this place is it's kind of nice, and I don't want to ruin it. And so, you can let me go. I can walk out with these chips. And, I won't have to, well, I don't know, send this place, crumbling down, as you could say." And so, you're all just kind of standing there, just watching this guy, hover his thumb over the detonator, it looks like.
Captain
What,
will
does he
look
wanna
around.
blow himself up?
Captain's gonna look around for explosives anywhere. See if he's continuing, if it's just another bluff, or if he's actually legitimate about this.
Okay. Let's see.
It'll probably be a perception check.
Yep. Go ahead and give me a perception check. I don't feel like doing secret rolls. Have fun.
Alright. Well, I've rolled it secretly, so you'll have to.
Oh, okay. You roll. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that's actually nice. I like that. Y'all still rolling. I get to. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just told us to roll a secret roll, and we did that.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. So, you look around the room, and you don't notice any bombs, but you do notice that there is just above the dealer's head, there's a little hole, and it almost looks like a metal rod's poking out, almost like it's a gun barrel.
How far is the dealer from me?
I mean, you're still sitting next to the table pretty much, so I'd say roughly, maybe 5 feet.
Okay. I'm jump across the table and tackle the dealer out of the way.
Okay. So you make the jump, and just as you tackle the dealer, you just as you jump over the table, you see the guy press the button as you're in the air, and you grab the dealer and you tackle him straight to the ground, and you just hear a bang essentially, and it fires off. It fires off, and right past where the dealer's head would be, and right past where the
John, a question.
What?
How far away is the guy from me?
What guy?
The guy that's trying to leave.
He's across the room. I'd say maybe 10 feet.
Cool. While this is going, after seeing the captain jump, can I try cast Daze on the guy?
Sure. What does
Wait,
that
what are
do?
you casting?
The clouds target, you cloud the target's mind and daze it with a mental jolt. The jolt deals damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. The target must attempt a basic will save. If the target critically fails the save, it is also stunned 1.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So, yeah, the guy needs to give a basic will save.
Cool. What is the DC?
It's just, we'll say save is 16.
Will. Okay. Um. So. Bro, my brain does not want to do simple math. My gosh.
Get a calculator.
Yeah. Okay, so he gets a normal success on that. What does that do?
I believe it's just half damage.
Okay.
Spellcasting ability modifier. Do this. Damage.
This is days, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, damage would be 3. So,
Okay.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
damage, and then if they crit fail. Yeah, okay. That's how it works. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he takes that damage real quick, and then he hits the button again, and you see it. You see another barrel pop out of the wall, and immediately shoot the goblin who's sitting at the last chair. And it like fires off into his side, and you see the goblin fall over and just kind of like clenching his side there. And you see him ready again. He goes, "Anyone else want to try?"
They didn't check us for weapons, did they?
Nope.
All right, captains. Unless Waffles wants to do something here.
Yeah, just so y'all know, this is more of like a back and forth thing. You do something, they do
Yeah.
something. So
So let Waffles go,
Okay.
since captain's already taken it.
oh,
Well, go and get him, Peter.
what?
Okay. Peter will activate shield on himself and barrel towards him.
Okay. He's gonna barrel towards him.
Charged at him.
Oh, okay. I don't know, when he said barrel, in my mind he literally like got on the ground and started like barrel rolling at him. I was like, wait, that's an ability?
Just turns into a barrel.
Just like my ancestors that were thrown by a monkey named Donkey Kong, I turn into barrel. Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna charge at him. Anything? Anything I need to roll for? Or anything or?
I guess.
fortitude, I guess. You
I-
do
What are you
fortitude.
doing?
Like, what is your plan? Are you trying to like grab him? Is that
I'm trying to grab him.
okay?
Like a grapple, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then,
That would be athletics versus fortitude.
yep,
So Peter would roll an athletics check against their
against their fortitude
fortitude
DC.
plus 10. Yeah,
Yep.
DC.
I got 14 on athletics. So
14.
It
Unfortunately,
could
that's a fail.
re-roll because. Oh yeah. Yeah. Can I hero point it?
Sure.
It's a 10. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it.
That's unfortunate. So yeah, you ran up, you tried to grapple him, and then like as you do, he's able to get out of the way. And he presses the button again. Another barrel comes out and fires off.
John,
What?
is there anything quickly? Is there anything like in front of Char that he could grab?
It's like,
Anything he could grab and throw, kind of thing.
there's poker chips on the table. Other than that, everything else is like you'd have to run up to it and grab it.
When the gun barrel like pokes out of the wall, could I try and use telekinetic projectile to stop the bullet with one of the
Oh my gosh! Do you realize how difficult that's gonna be?
poker chips?
Rule of cool, Johnny.
I mean, if you want to, you can surely try.
I want to try and stop one of the poker chips with.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Go on ahead.
I need.
Just know that this is going to be a difficult shot to pull off.
9.
Ah, dang it.
At
I
least
was sure he was gonna do it.
I tried. That's all that matters.
Yep. So you do the telekinetic thing. You pick up a poker chip and you fling it out to try to block it, and it veers off course. And before the Strix, you see him kind of like grab the edge of the table, like he's about to push himself out of the way of the thing. But then this poker chip comes and hits him in the eye, and as he reaches up for his eye, you notice that the barrel shoots and hits him like right in his chest, and and his whole chair flips back as he falls back, and he's just writhing in pain on the ground.
I'm so sorry.
At this point, hopefully the captain will have regathered his composure, whip out his coat pistol, and take a shot at the goblin's hand to see if he can knock the controller out.
That's
of it.
it's a human. It's not a goblin.
Human, whatever. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. The individual.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So you're attempting to disarm the thing.
sure. That's.
I think there's actually a rule for that. Give me a sec.
Well, disarming is a melee, like an actual melee thing. It's different from. Let's see, disarm. Because that's just a melee. Like you have a free hand and you're trying to disarm someone. It's not necessarily. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Let me.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll just shoot him and see if I can put him down real quick.
Yeah, because disarm is just athletics versus reflex.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
Let's
don't really have a
see,
rule for shooting someone to knock it out or whatever, unless it's a feat somewhere that I'm missing, which it could be, very well could be. So.
range disarm feat.
There is.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's literally range disarm is a feat.
I do
When
not
using-
have that feat though.
When using a
Oh,
simple
it's a
fire
level 14 feat. That's
Ah.
yeah, that's fine.
objects right out of your enemy's hands, attempt to disarm the target using a range attack roll with your simple firearm instead of attempting athletics check.
Okay, in that case, I'll just shoot him. Just trying to.
Well, if you want to attempt to disarm him, we can definitely
just-
try that. We could try that.
Alright.
So-
From what it's saying here, it seems like you just do a simple attack with it, with the feat.
Yeah, it's a level 14.
Yeah.
That's why, because
so-
it's meant
Yeah, so since that's a feat and everything, let's do like a Let's do like an attack thing, but let's say it's like a plus like 3 for extra difficulty.
Sure.
So, I'll do that.
Because you don't have the feet.
Yeah, because you don't have the feet. So
Yeah. 16. Does a 16 hit?
16. That's what you got, or is that with the plus 3?
That's what I rolled. Total is
So, or
16.
wait, no, you don't get it. That's okay.
9
You
plus
rolled
7.
16. Oh, so, sorry, I gotta find the AC here.
No worries. Is
Oh,
against
sorry,
his AC
Brain's
or his
like-
reflex DC?
Brain literally was staring at the AC and was reading his DC.
ACDC.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you don't disarm him.
Can I hero point that?
Sure.
Hero point that. Try again. Reroll. Keep the result. 21 to hit instead.
A 21.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you shoot it, and like as you shoot it, you see it basically fly out of his hand, smacks it to the wall, slams on the ground, and you see him like kind of look shocked all of a sudden, and he looks over at you, he looks over at you pissed off as he sees your gun in your hand.
After he goes flying to the ground, can I cast like an invisible mage hand to like try and like hide, and use the mage hand to like try and hide the thing?
And I guess while he's doing that, Peter's gonna like draw his pistol out as well and point it at him.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll for the let's see. You want to try to hide it with Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Because Mage Hand doesn't have like a roll or anything, right? You just summon it.
You just cast it, and it's either invisible or ghost-like.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to grab it and try to like hide the device.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roll me a stealth check on that.
Stealth
So
check.
regardless, it grabs it, but
Yeah.
whether it gets anywhere with it is what the stealth check's gonna do.
Stealth. Dirty 20.
Okay. So yeah, you take it and you end up moving it to where doesn't fucking matter. He doesn't see it. So but yeah, essentially like he's looking at it and then all of a sudden he sees a random like shoot, like a random thing move past the detonator, and now it's gone, and he can't find the thing that grabbed it or the detonator. And he just kind of looks shocked. And he goes, well, it seems like you've caught me. And he puts his hands in the air, and then as he kind of like puts his hands in the air and surrenders, some of the guards go over there and handcuff him. And like as they're handcuffing, you see Armand like walk over. You see Armand walk over, and he pulls out his flintlock, and he just shoots the guy in the stomach. And the guy kind of just kills over and just like falls down on the ground, and then he just aims the flintlock again as he loads it real quick and just fires a bullet in the back of his head and goes, and I will be taking this. And he grabs the briefcase and he starts walking over to where he was sitting. So, but yeah, all of that happens, and you just hear Sid come up on all of your watches and goes,
Well, I've got to say, that could have gone better. But honestly, it could have gone a lot worse. Good job.
as all three of you, Peter was the one that charged at him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you three that participated in the fight there, you all get hero points.
Heck yeah.
Fun. Uh, yeah. Char is going to go and apologize to the other Strix for hitting him in the head and try to patch him up as best as he can.
uh, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna patch him up. Are you what is this technically like?
Medicine?
Just normal medicine.
Yeah, just medicine.
Okay. Yeah, go on ahead and roll for that.
12.
Cool. So yeah, you end up patching him up and everything, and he just looks over and he goes, "That's fine, but you you've really gotta do better with that. That thing. I'm gonna be totally honest. I think that thing hurt a little more than the bullet did."
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of just something I wanted to try, but I'll try to get better at it.
So
And then, is anyone going, or has anyone gone to help the goblin that got shot, or no?
No, he's still bleeding.
So yeah, you go over there and you look at the goblin, or like you see his backside essentially. You go over there and check him out, and you notice that he's not clenching anymore. He's just dead.
No.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And yeah, and when y'all notice, Armand notices as well and goes, I really like that one too. And then you see him just point the flintlock back at the dead dude's head over here on this side and just shoot him again and goes, "That one's for the goblin, asshole." and then he loads his gun and goes, "Okay, is anyone else dead? Because I'll shoot him again if needed."
Why not just shoot him again regardless?
That's a good point. Bang! and then he loads it again. He goes, "Now, I don't want to shoot him anymore because I only have a certain amount of ammo on me. I wasn't expecting to get in a fight today."
You should always be expecting to get in a fight. You should always be packing.
That is a good point. And he turns over and he blasts the guy in the stomach. Okay, no more after that one. and then he loads his gun real quick, holsters it, and he goes, "Seriously, I do not want to shoot him any more times. I've already wasted too many bullets than what this guy deserves."
He says that, and the captain's already walking over with his gun back out. He's like, "You know what? You're right," and he puts his gun away.
And so yeah, he turns to all of you and he goes, "Well, thank you for your assistance here.
Yeah.
So y'all said y'all needed to talk about something, correct?"
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a business going. We need to get inside one of these warehouses out here, and I'll sort of just explain the situation to him about needing to get into this warehouse for whatever reason.
Yes, I see.
Now we're looking for, whatever help or advice anyone could have about
Well,
what we can do to stay low but also get the job done.
yes, I think I might be able to help you with that.
All right.
But you're gonna have to come with me first. This, too many eyes around here.
Oh, yeah, understandable.
So he leads
And
you.
if I have to if we need to speak about it quietly, I'll wait until we get to a private place before I explain the whole thing. Of course.
Yeah.
It's just...
So no, he just kind of leads y'all out, and he kind of leads y'all out and just walk out the door. You see some guards trying to clean up everything. You even see a janitor walk up the stairs and start, it's like as the door's closing behind you, you notice he's just scrubbing the blood off the floor. And you make your way back down the stairs you originally came up, and you make your way downstairs and you hang a left there, and you see there's some slot machines kind of set up over on the side. And Armand walks over to one of the middle ones there, and you see him go over there, and he pushes basically a bet 1, bet max, bet 1, pull the lever, and then you notice that the slot machines kind of open up Like they all move and it essentially opens up like a little door that goes to that looks to be like into another like shipping container essentially.
Right.
And then as he walks in and leads all of you in there, as soon as you walk inside, you see him walk over and press a button on the wall, closes the slot machines behind you guys, and he goes, "Well, it does seem that we had a few mishaps and everything. I'm sorry you had to witness all of that. It's not exactly a fun time in the business. You know, sometimes we just want to play cards and
Yeah.
But as for the fun's out of the way, let's get to business." And so you see a small it's a small wooden table in the room. He kind of sits down and he goes, "Okay," and he pulls up the briefcase, slaps it on the table, and you see him open it, and he goes, "Well, that's quite the haul." And you then notice that he flips a couple of poker chips at you, and he pretty much gives you he ends up giving you a poker chips like equaling about 1,000, and he goes, "That's 1,000 credits for making sure I didn't die."
Yeah.
And he closes it and sets the briefcase to the side, and he goes, "Now, as for the business matter, let's see. What do you need? What do you need from me exactly?" Said something about a warehouse.
Yeah, there's a warehouse on the outside of town over there near the airport, airspace, whatever it was, landing. I don't remember. But,
I see. Do you have any?
get inside, but where?
Do you have anything like visual, like any pictures or anything?
I'm sure Sid's got something on the. If Sid could make something pop up, we can. Get that
Yes, of
worked
course,
out.
Captain. Just go ahead and hold out your watch.
And I'll hold out my watch with the.
And so as you hold it out,
Hologram.
you see a hologram pop out, and he starts playing some like camera footage and everything. And Armand just kind of like studies it and everything, and goes, let's see. Yeah, I do recognize this. Now I've got to say, try to sneak into an airstrip on Vebus is a little much. See, now a lot of people don't understand this, but not only is Vebus controlled by freelancers and everything, the GSU does have some parts in this. Like, if you were to break into that place, the GSU would probably be on your tail. Unless you could bribe them off, of course. They always like money. But the price for breaking into a place like that is probably going to be somewhere on the lines of about 6,000 to 7,000 credits at the minimum. Now,
I mean, for hiring someone to help, or is that what they?
Oh,
the penalty
that's
for getting
their
caught?
penalty. As for
Gotcha.
someone, like me, you've come to the right place because, well, for me, it's only going to be about 1,000 credits minimum to sneak you in there. Now, I could for 500, kind of. I could kind of tell you a way to get in there that might not trigger any alarms or get caught, but then you're on your own.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you said GSU takes care of these places. What do you know about that?
well, see, the thing is that I'm not sure if you know about any of the High Nobles for sure, but each of the High Nobles kind of like have their own branches that they work with. Like some of the most common ones, like High Noble Molassus works with marketing and trade. He does a little bit of goon work on the side, but I mean, overall, he just buys magic donuts all the time.
Right.
Then you've got High Noble Albin, who is, well, let's face it, an asshole. But he oversees a lot of the undersided tactics when it comes to war efforts and things. He's part of, like, I guess you could say, the special forces of the security agency there.
Right.
And of course, there's a few others, but there's one in particular that you may have to kind of look out for. There's High Noble Brock. Now, High Noble Brock is he's a tricky fellow. He's very smart. But the guy itself is he is built like a brick wall. And that's yeah. So if you ever find a High Noble that looks like a brick wall, that's him.
All right.
But High Noble Brock, he's very he's very good at tactics and knowing how to get to places and get from places very quickly. This here is not exactly an official outpost, and the reason for that is because then people won't attack it. And so he uses freelancers like us to kind of hold out this place and keep it under our control so that he doesn't have to come and make it an official GSU outpost. Therefore, it doesn't get attacked, and therefore he has another place to store goods. Like in that compound, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of weapons and explosives that's probably going to be used on the war front in the next, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 cycles, but... So yeah, there's a bit of GSU presence here.
Gotcha.
So they don't typically come in the city as often, but when it comes to the airstrip and a few other places that has high volumes of traffic, that's where we get a lot of our money from. I've dealt with the GSU. They're a fun bunch, but they're also a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, that's what we picked up on our short look with them.
So if you happen to get caught in there, just understand that you may want to get out quickly, because if they get a true identification of you, you're going to be on the run from the GSU.
Right. That being said, would it be possible to find out who this warehouse belongs to then, if it's GSU? So we know which noble would be responsible.
Well,
That's information that a particular individual.
The only noble that I know that makes any type of thing here is High Noble Brock.
Right.
However, there have been rumors that there is another noble that is, I guess you could say, doing business with people who are out of. They're out of the allied nations of the GSU, is the best way to put it.
Gotcha.
So, not entirely sure who it could be. But I do have a few suspicions, but I don't have any evidence to back any of that up.
All right.
Now, as for your fun times of trying to sneak in the place, like I said, I can show you a back way to get in, but I can also send a few of my people with you and make sure I can get you in there myself. Because, of course, you know, I do treat my friends well, especially the ones that are willing to shoot people for my life.
I mean, you said something about 1,000 credits, so therefore a surefire way to get in there, right?
Yes, 1,000
Well,
if I'm to escort you.
I just happened to come across 1,000 credits myself just now. I'll produce the chips that he was just given.
I see.
Sure, this would be
well. That
nice and handy for.
That does seem very nice and handy. I wonder where you came across these. Well, nonetheless, that's 1,000 credits that I have, and 1,000 credits that will get you into the place. So. There is a sewer tunnel that leads under the entire strip itself. You would be surprised at the amount of bathrooms that is inside of an airstrip, or at least in the airport there at the airstrip. And they have to send it all somewhere. So they have a sewer system goes straight from there that leads all the way to about 2 blocks down from this warehouse. Now, that will not take you directly to the warehouse you're looking for, but it will get you mighty close. So, once you head out, you're going to be heading down the airstrip just a bit, where you'll have to dodge a few guards and everything, but I'll also send some people with you and get them all dressed up nice and fancy to make it look like that they're, well, let's just say, escorting all of you.
Got it.
So, since we can get that out of the way, I think we should be good on that. So, question is, how soon do you want to go?
How soon would you be able to get an escort ready?
And you see him like reach behind him on a desk behind him, and he pulls over a data pad, and you see him kind of like tap on it a little bit, and he goes, "Well, let's see. I'd say roughly about 10 minutes."
All right. Well, that'll work for us. We've already got a ship parked in the area, so we're just stopping by here in case we could get some extra help, and it looks like we can. So.
That's perfect. And in the meantime, if you want to wait, if you want to wait a few minutes and enjoy your time before you go on this what could be deadly adventure, well, there's an entire casino behind you can have fun in.
I'll consider it.
Okay. Well,
Captain will actually not consider it, but if anybody else wants to.
yeah. And so you see him kind of stand up. He walks over and smacks the button on the wall, and he goes, "Well, you have yourself some fun, and I am going to go outside and play some games."
All right.
And so yeah, I'll end up walking out, and he pulls that lever again and closes the slot machines. Basically leaving you back in the casino again.
All right.
So, what's your next step?
You guys got anything you want to do before we head on out to the next step? Or do we just want to focus on the mission for now? I believe Alex said he was stepping away for a second. I don't know if he's back yet, but...
Yes, Captain. Char did in fact say that he needed to go take a shit.
Alright. I believe that was the words he used, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Sid.
No problem, Captain.
Okay. So would y'all like to take a minute to play a game of cards, or just wait?
Captain will just wait. He's kind of still not too sure about the other day, so he's kind of just taking his good old time. He's already making a bunch of other gambles. Doesn't need to be taking on more than he can handle right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, he went off to go take a shit, so if you guys want to go ahead and take a break, we can take our little break here
Get a
while we're
little
waiting.
water. So,
Yep.
Our AC is apparently out, so it's starting to get hot.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Is it because the AC's broken, or is it just because
Yeah,
you're
it's
there?
broken or something. It's broken. Both. Why not?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, cool. I guess I'll be back then.
So, alright.
Went ahead and take a break.
Heck yeah. Alright, Cat, you're gonna have to move. I can't have you sitting on my arm this whole time. Yeah.
I'm back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Well,
Alright, I'm back. What I miss?
nothing. We've missed
Alright.
literally nothing.
Heck yeah.
Is Waffles back? Nope. I guess Waffles
Yeah,
is not.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back? Okay, cool.
Okay.
So we're all good?
Yeah, I think so. Like we're good to continue.
Okay. From what it seemed to before, it seemed that no one wanted to gamble. And so y'all wait a few
Not
minutes.
this time.
Yeah. So y'all waited a few minutes, and then I guess head outside to where you're supposed to meet the other people.
Yep.
Okay. So you make your way outside. You head 2 blocks down the road, and you end up finding a couple. You end up seeing a couple people. Looks like that they're dressed up in GSU guard uniforms, standing what looks to be right over a manhole on the sidewalk.
Alright, we'll go down the manhole.
So you walk on over, and they quickly like lift open the cupboard and kind of usher you in. As y'all go in one by one, you get down. It's kind of, it's dark and damp. You hear water trickling around and water flowing, and they end up coming down and behind you and closing the manhole. And one of them, the orc, kind of speaks up and goes, We've got 2 more sitting down at the end, making sure nobody's watching the cover as we get out."
Alright.
So you head down the sewer for a bit. It's all it's smelly and slimy, and every time you take a breath, it almost feels like the air is incredibly thick as you're walking down for a bit. And you end up walking like this for about half an hour. Walking from turn to turn. This place looks like a freaking maze. The fact that they're navigating it is it's honestly a miracle. And you finally come across a little light that you can see, and you kind of look up and you notice just the little holes of the grid there. Of the drainage grid, you can see a guy kind of standing on top of it, and the orc climbs up first, kind of smacks the little drainage grid there, and the guy moves to the side and they open it, and then all of you end up pretty much one by one getting out, and you're now standing inside the airport.
Oh, he's kidding.
Bless you.
Yeah.
And so, you end up looking around, and if I can
Yeah. So you end up looking around, and you pretty much find yourself staring at. This is kind of like the empty side of the port, where there's not a whole lot going on right now, but you do know that there's other ports. And it's awfully close to the warehouse itself. And if I show this, you look around, you see a couple people walking about and doing, their daily tasks and everything, but not too much. Not too much going on this side. And so, you turn and you see the orc kind of standing there, and he goes, "Okay, we got you this far, but we weren't told where we're supposed to escort you to. So, any chance you can provide us with that info?"
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't say it, but no, I'll give him the location of the warehouse we're supposed to be making our way to. B4, I believe, was the one we're looking for.
Yep. And so he goes, "Okay, well, let's see. And he
Just
turns
walk
over.
by you, act like you know where you're going.
Yeah. So he turns over to one of the other ones and goes, "So, which plan are we going with on this one?" As he turns over to the human standing there, and he goes, he's like, I think the boss thought it would be entertaining to go with Plan F." Okay. And you see, and he goes, "Okay, well, you might not like this, but here we go." And you see him like reach over on his side, and all of them protrude some handcuffs, and and walk over.
Captain will just hold out his hands.
Yep. And so they all slap handcuffs on all of you. I believe there's only 4 of you, right?
3.
Just
3? Just 3? Oh, okay. Got it. So yeah, they end up slapping some handcuffs on you.
Are they like real handcuffs, or do they like unlock if we try to?
Oh no, they're real.
Okay,
Yep. they're real.
just checking.
Okay.
Good real handcuffs that'll help with keeping up the image, because fake ones would throw someone off, I'm sure.
Well, I guess we'll lead you down there. And you see the human kind of pull out a data pad, and he goes, "Okay." He goes, "I think it's this way. Follow me." And they start escorting you, and you walk down the airstrip some ways, and off in the distance you can kind of see you can see people are a little busier off in the distance and everything on that side. And you even notice a ship kind of taking off at the end of the airstrip there, and you make your way to this warehouse, and you look around it for a while as you're walking up to it, and you notice the 2 guards out front, and you also notice the 1 guard in the back. You notice the guard in the back's kind of standing at the corner of the warehouse, where you can just barely see him. And on this side, you notice that it's got that little vent that y'all talked about before. And so you end up walking up to the doors, and one of the guards stops. And you see there's 2 humans standing at the front, and one of them just goes, "Halt! What exactly is your business here?" We've got some new exhibits, I guess you could say. These don't look very exotic to me. Well,
I'd take personal insult to that.
Well, let's see. Do you have a lizard folk? Well, not exactly. Do you, in fact, have yourself, what is the Birdman? What is his?
Tengu.
Yes.
Or Tengu.
Sorry. Do you have a Tengu? Well, no. But it doesn't seem very exotic. And also, you have a. Come on, clearly that's a human in a suit.
No, he's not. He's a meta-human. He's got extra things inside him that make him extra human.
I need you to roll me a deception.
Wrong setting, but yeah. Pretend I don't see that one.
So, yeah, you kind of look. He kind of looks at you a little weird, and just goes, "Look, I'm not exactly sure what kind of crap you're trying to pull here, but these don't look exotic to me." And the orc kind of turns over to all of you and goes, "Okay, so do we
Yeah, we go to Plan G.
Okay." And you see him you see him go over and just deck the guy right in his nose. The guy falls back and he's just like, "What the?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "What the?" And then you just and then you see like one of them that's behind you. There's like a kind of like a larger goblin there. And you see him use a blow tube, and it hits him in the neck with a dart, and he's kind of like he kind of like tries to yell, but like it stops him for a second, and then he just falls over and passes out, and the other guard just kind of looks at you kind of scared and goes, "I didn't like him anyways. You're free to go in." And he takes his keys and he goes and unlocks the door. And the orc turns over and goes, "Well, isn't that very mighty kind of you? And if he happens to wake up, well, just remember, you were knocked out too." Yes, I'll remember that." "No, seriously." And he comes over, punches him right in his nose, and knocks the guy out. And he goes, "Okay, well, right this way." And he leads all of you into the building. And as soon as y'all enter inside the warehouse, they end up unlocking the handcuffs. And you'll end up walking inside. You see crates and tanks of exotic, of lots of exotic creatures kind of sitting around. Now, I would have a picture for this, but I forgot to add that, so I got to do that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is apparently something I knew I always forget something, man.
No, it's all good.
It's always something. Yep. So you end up making your way inside, and you walk around. There's like a metal wall, kind of like, that's kind of like blocking the sight, but you can hear creature. You can hear like a bunch of like animal noises. Sounds like there's a little bit of roaring and some like higher pitch like chirping and everything. And as you walk around the corner, you see cages and tanks just kind of formed all around the warehouse, basically filled with exotic creatures that like you've never seen before.
Right.
Anything ranging from like 8-armed monkeys to things that like look like that they shouldn't even be a creature.
Right.
And
Bro,
so
it's literally just a vending machine. What's that doing in there?
a vending machine.
Oh wait, that's just sitting in the corner. Never mind.
So you end up looking around, and other than the exotic creatures, you don't really find a whole lot of you don't see a whole lot of like creatures that like match the description of this ooze or anything that excretes ooze, but you do notice that there is a terminal on the far side of the warehouse.
All right. Intelligence. This tends to be your field of expertise, if you don't mind.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. So intelligence, you're gonna go over, and I'm gonna need you, since you don't have a lore for it, I'm gonna need you to give me your intelligence roll check. It will be a secret check, however, so if you can please send it that way.
I believe on the drop down for when you click on the roll, it should be like secret GM or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, I know how to do that, but what am I rolling?
Your
Your intelligence class roll.
yeah,
Oh,
your
my
intelligence lore skill.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
lore skill. Yeah.
Gotcha.
'Cause
So
I have
say
nothing
blind.
else to do with that,
Private.
so
It's blind GM roll, I think is the one you want to use.
yeah.
Private will show it to both you and the GM, but nobody else. That's how that works. But blind is just to the GM.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I only say that because that was the mistake I made when I rolled my last one.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go and try to get into the system. You look around. You're a little confused on how to access the logs because you see a password, and you and Sid try to work together to get a workaround with it. But as you're doing it, you hear like a little bit of a beep going, like kind of like going off inside the computer. And then you notice one of the escorts that's with you just kind of like barges in behind you and just goes, I'm not sure what you did, but yeah, there's some alarms blaring outside. And I've got to say, it's it's not looking good because there's a lot of guards heading this way.
Alright, well. How fast do you think you can get us inside there so we can get some answers?
So, and yes, this, so, the, you see the terminal kind of like a little, there's a little like part at the top of it that kind of opens, and you see like a camera kind of like poke out of it. And it starts from the top of the room and it scans straight down. You guys have 30 seconds before it reaches you. What do you do?
Could we shoot the camera? Or the scanner or whatever?
If you want to try that, sure.
Alright, I'll give that a shot. Or is it something I can hit directly? Is it within melee range, or do I have to shoot it?
I mean, it's within melee range if you want to try to hit it.
Alright, I'll try to
You can try to hit it.
smack it with my short sword.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll for a hit.
Alright. 24.
Okay. So you take the short sword and you jab it straight in and you break it.
Alright. Hopefully that'll buy us a little bit more time.
And yeah, you just hear Sid just go,
Now, I'm not entirely sure how you managed to do that, considering that is behind a bulletproof glass. But that was an impressive hit. Good job.
and you get a hero point.
Alright, nice.
So yeah, the scan stopped, but the guy runs back out, and as you're trying to work on the terminal, he runs back in and tells you have about 2 minutes before. You've got about 2 minutes before the before guards get to the door.
Okay.
Hit it with what you got.
So yeah, I'm gonna need you. So you can attempt checks. Every time that you are going to attempt a check here, it's going to be to hack into it. It's going to take about 30 seconds.
Okay.
So the number of checks is all up to you. So just keep that in mind. If you
Okay.
guys want to do anything else inside the place as well, you can let me know.
Okay. Just let me know if I should, or how many times I should do it, or try to.
Well, let's see. Let's do it 2 times for now, because they'll be here in 2 minutes, right? It's not like we have 2 minutes. It's more like
They'll be at the door in 2 minutes. So technically, you have a
so-
little more time if you decide to, do things.
Oh, and these blind rolls, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the first one.
Okay. So yeah, you go in and you're able to get past the first wall of security. So, and you do see that, like, as you're going in, you notice that there's an inventory log of all the creatures that are in there. But as Sid scans through the type of creatures, he doesn't recognize half of them, and the other half that he does recognize, none of them secretes or produces this weird space ooze.
I guess keep the ones that he doesn't recognize logged for now, and we can look them up later.
Okay.
There's more security as well, or
Yes, you'll have to get further into it. There's there's multiple. There's 3 security levels of it.
okay.
So
Try again.
Yep.
There's my second.
Okay. So yeah, you get through the second wall, and you end up finding logs of. You see that there's a bunch of logs, and you even notice that here recently, within the last 14 cycles, there have been a couple shipments of a couple cargo shipments from this warehouse going out that was scheduled from the GSU, but you notice that one was heading off in the direction of Sortul, but you're not sure about their exact flight plans.
Okay.
There is one more layer if you want to try to break through it.
Yeah, try to get
Okay.
to the last one, and then we'll have to poke it. How many guards? Do we know how many guards are on their way?
A lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
Like
So
the entire
try.
compound's worth, essentially.
Got it. Because we got to book it after that.
Roll again.
So before you roll, the orc guard or the orc escort, he does turn and say, "I didn't want it to come to this, but if we need a distraction, let me know. The only problem is that, well, the distraction may have you on a hit list if you get caught."
Yeah, let's see if we can get this last bit for now.
Call me a roll.
Going ahead. So, you end up hacking into the third wall, and you end up finding yourself a series of detailed paths and a backlog up to like 30 cycles back, essentially, of just ships coming in and out to basically GSU ships coming in and out. And you notice that every single one of these details for this warehouse is essentially not actually from the High Noble Brock, but it's actually from High Noble Molassus that has detailed all of these ships to come here and pick up stuff.
I mean, but we kind of already knew that, right? Or sort of, kind of? Well, it's weird that it's Molassus, I guess, right? But Molassus was also the one that was asking us to investigate, so...
Yeah, I guess we can kind of assume that they were from Molassus.
Yeah. Well,
Got
take
what their
that.
log.
That's everything. We've got 30 seconds to book it, so...
Yeah.
You've got a right, Sid?
Yeah, I've got all of this locked. I am seeing something here about some flight plans on some ships. Now I can't get them all, but I can get the last couple of them. Do we want to go with the last ship, or should we like the last ship that picked up something? Or
Sure.
How far back do we gotta go? Do we need to go for this? The good part is that the less we do, the more detail of the path I can take. But the more ships I take, we'll have more chances of being able to find.
Well, you've got 15 seconds to figure something out. Otherwise, we gotta go.
Well, Captain, I can't do anything without your orders.
All right, you're ordered to do something within 15 seconds, or we are going.
Captain, panicking can be done within 15 seconds. I need an order.
I need the last few shipments that have been here, and then we're out.
Okay, roger that.
And he scans through them and everything. He tells you he's done. And then from there, y'all now have guards at the door.
All right.
But they are only at the front door, so you can sneak out the back.
There's a back door, I'm sure, so we'll take that. If it's still unlocked and open and available.
So, you end up running out the back, or you run to the back door, and Sid does remind you there is a guard at the back door.
Alright.
So how do you want to proceed on, I don't know, breaking out of it?
I'll turn to one of the guys that came with us and be like, tackle us, arrest us, and get us out of here.
And the orc goes, gladly. And he opens the door, and he basically grabs you and kind of shoves you out the door. And the guard in the back, he pulls out his blunderbuss, and immediately, like, as he does that, you see the orc comes over and tackles you, and he goes, "You thought you were getting away? No!" It's like, "Stay there!" And he pulls out the handcuffs and handcuffs you and everything. And you see the guard in the back just like, "What?" Like, he's just confused. And then like the others get handcuffed and escorted out the door. And he's just kind of confused. More guards kind of like run around toward the backside, and they see you all handcuff him. And then you see like what looks to be like a captain of the pursuit essentially walks over, and he goes, I'm not sure if I recognize any of you. What is your what are your ID numbers?" And the orc kind of like walks over, and he kind of gives him a little card, and he goes, "I'm not sure how you got these, considering you're not in uniform, but nonetheless, these look official, to say the least. I'm guessing you've never actually seen anyone from the Royal Guard, have you?" I have not actually. If that's the case, well, I continue on. Are these to be taken in your care, or? Yeah, we'll take them from here, and don't really want them to get away with anything. Trying to go through the court system, all that. Not really worth it for these scum. See, we've got some higher orders to figure out who was behind all of this, and seems like we did it. Well, I congratulate you. Yes, thank you. Well, we're gonna head off now. You can get back to work and everything. We got them. Of course. Of course, sir. And they all salute and just walk away. And then he kind of just like starts escorting you guys back toward the manhole. And you get back to the manhole. One of them opens it and leads y'all. They take off the handcuffs real quick and lead you down. And then y'all end up heading back through the sewers all the way back to where you started.
Cool.
Johnny, I was so close to just being like, "It was the giant space monkey!" I was so close to just yelling that out. just like make it seem like more.
Well, now that we're in a safe spot, Sid, what did you happen to be able to pick up on the way out?
Well, I ended up getting your ship logs, I guess you could say, in their patterns. If you would like, we could start with the final from the one that was the most recent, that was heading off to Sword Tool. There are some others, but they end up kind of heading off in different directions. One headed off to the right side of the sector, and another one ended up heading up to the planet of Leon.
What's up with the one that was going to Sword Tool?
Apparently they picked up some exotic creatures. I don't have any other information other than the fact that the crates were labeled B174. As for their contents, I'm not entirely sure, but it has been labeled as alive, so I assume it was a creature of some kind. They also had one other crate here that was not labeled, but it did in fact look quite large.
Right.
So as for the contents, I'm not entirely sure what that was either.
Right. Anything that looks related to our missing ships, or not in here, not in this list?
Well, all of these are from High Noble Molassus, so whichever one we choose can be the right one. Our best bet, if we want to find anyone alive, is probably finding the most recent one, considering they've had the least amount of time to be, well, missing.
Right, so the one that went to Sword Tool then.
Yes.
Okay.
They did take a slight divot in their flight path, however. So in order to go to Sword Tool, they were going to have to go and pass the planet of Leon. But before they even got to Leon, they ended up divvying a little bit off their path. It's almost like their warp drive went down before they could finish their warp.
Right.
Yes, our real issue though is that we don't exactly have a warp drive to reach that sector without a warp ring. So the only way we're going to be able to reach that area is either we go and find ourselves a new warp drive, or we're going to have to piggyback off of a warp ring to get there. Considering the one here is broken.
Right. What would it take to get back to the one in GSU? Do we still have that locked down on our drive or whatever? Or is that already like...
We should be able to use it one more time. The problem is if we go back again, every time we go back, there is a chance that they start charging us for it.
Yeah, I see. How much does that rate usually go?
Well, looks like it's not too much, but it's typically for GSU, it looks like it's around 200 credits.
That is kind of steep.
Yes, but I mean, considering the prices of warp drive fuel, it's a little roughly about the same when you average the distance up.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we'll consider it. Where would we procure a warp drive around these parts? And does our ship even have the capabilities to fit one?
Our ship's current navigation, the ship's current navigation drive is a catapult drive. If we took that out and sold it, we might be able to get ourselves a warp drive, but it's probably going to cost us an extra 1,000.
We still have money left over from selling off the raid, don't we? Or we did that up though.
Well, you also have that, but you also have to have fuel for a typical
That's also true.
warp drive. So It's
we need a steady income, which is something we're still working on. Right. Well, we'll figure out. What do you guys think we should do? Just catapult ourselves back, or?
I mean, there's always the possibility that we could tell Molassus what we've got so far and
Right.
see what he wants us to do now. Or
The
we
fact that. Sorry, go
Oh.
ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it's either we try and solve the rest of it ourselves, or we let General Molassus know what's up.
Sure. Alright, well. And the fact that his name's attached to those ships isn't necessarily suspicious, is it just
Is
is it throwing off an alarm, or is that just makes sense that his name would be tied to them?
Well, from what you remember is that Armand told you that typically only Brock, High Noble Brock, is the one that does all the business for the GSU in
Right.
Vivus, especially in that airstrip.
Gotcha.
So the fact is that
So it
this
seems
warehouse
like-
specifically is from High Noble Molassus.
Yeah, so it seems like Molassus is running his own racket in the same area, is what it sounds like.
Yep, which is not common knowledge.
Yeah. So probably best not to let him know that we found his stuff for now. Although it would have been helpful for him to have given us the information ahead of time, but something suspicious is going on here now. Possibly, maybe, unless I'm overthinking stuff, which, wouldn't be outside of my tendencies.
So, what is your plan?
Yeah, we'll just catapult back for now.
Okay.
So 200 credits is better than having to figure out. Plus, who knows how much time it would take to have to get a warp drive and install it and then find gas for it. So,
Yep.
So yeah, we'll just use what we got for now.
Okay.
Guys,
So-
have anything you want to do before we jump, or are we just good to head on?
Seems like everything's okay. Cool.
Alright.
So, you end up heading off, and you get yourselves, nice all attached, essentially. You get into the ship, and, you set off, getting outside of the atmosphere, and then you blast off.
Alright. Zoom, zoom.
And so, you make your way back to the GSU warp ring. Sid did get permission to do it, so y'all end up heading back. And once you get back, you are sitting right outside of Outpost Zeta. So, the question is, what do you want to do now?
I assume Lion would have a working warp ring still, right? Or do we have a way to contact them to figure it out? Or is there a way to... I don't want to just shoot straight to Sword Tool or whatever.
Well, you can't. You have to follow the...
We still have to follow roadways or whatever.
Yeah. So if you go over to the Omega map, I can show you. me activate that real quick. So, Sid ends up showing you the good old. He ends up showing you basically right off Phoebus. They ended up going off to about right here, is where you can see.
Hold on, my map's still loading.
Okay.
So,
Let me find. Whoops, 1 second.
gotta give it a minute. Oh great, now it's starting to take some time again.
Oh, fun. So is it looking like I gotta really like change the background?
Yeah, I don't know if the background's just like too large or something or what's going on, but it's just it takes forever to load in.
Could attempt this. Probably should be preloading this stuff before I send y'all over.
Yeah, that could help. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, let me see
Could
if I
just
can.
be something specific to that video file or something. Who knows?
Yeah, let me check something here.
There it is. All right. I
Does
can see
everybody,
now.
does everybody else have it pulled up?
Yeah, I've got it up.
Waffles? Waffles?
Yeah.
Do you have the map pulled up?
He's still got the player ship up.
Yeah, I see him over on the player ship.
It might still be trying to load. for
Oh,
me.
it's at 99%. I'll just refresh.
What browsers are you guys using?
Opera.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not browser specific then, maybe.
Ooh, new
Okay.
background.
Yeah, I changed the background. Hopefully this.
Okay. Yeah, that loaded much faster.
So. Okay. Yeah. So, you guys are chilling. At the GSU. And you notice that up toward a little bit past where you guys were. You notice that Sid marks a location that's about 6 sectors out from the warp ring, the broken warp ring of Vebus.
All right.
Now, while he doesn't know what's on their ship, he does kind of note the fact that they can't catapult from Vebus, so they have to have some type of other way of navigating if they're to make it out there.
Right.
Like that, essentially.
Probably a warp drive or the warp ring, which is no longer functioning.
So
for us to get there would require a warp drive then. At this point.
No, you can actually catapult there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, catapult. So your catapult, you're required to go to or from a warp ring.
It requires starting at a warp ring, but you can go in.
You can go up to 20. You can go up to 20 sectors away.
You can,
So
or you can at the warp ring.
Yeah, you can aim at a warp ring or away from a warp ring.
Got it.
That's the reason why we were able to go to GSU from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But warp rings will allow you to. You can catapult any number of distance as long as the warp rings are connected. So if you look on the map, you'll see the lines between warp rings, like Leto and Delta Prime. They're 27 sectors apart, so it's out of your range, but they can go to each other.
They're connected,
Yeah.
to each other. So got it. Okay.
Yep.
I'm understanding now. All right. Well, catapult there. What's our option of catapulting back once, or is it within range to catapult back?
With it just within range to catapult back.
Okay.
So
Like Johnny was saying, it's 20 sectors.
yeah,
Guys-
they are currently 16 sectors away from where you are, so you can go there and back if needed.
All right.
So
do
you can
we
also
have-
catapult to, you can also catapult. You know about this warp ring off to the right of that,
Hmm.
so you can technically do that.
Right.
But the thing is you're not sure much about that other than
We
the
haven't
fact.
been there yet, so it's
Yeah.
still
So yeah,
still-
well you've been there and you've used that warp ring.
in the past. Oh, okay.
So it's just more the fact that like you might get charged.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Understandable.
okay, but yeah, he tells you about that spot where their last known position.
Okay.
So
So we need some coordinates that are nearby them.
Yeah. Alright, regardless, Sid, got any recommendations for equipment for any sort of reconnaissance, or you think we're kitted enough as it is, ready to go?
I mean, having reconnaissance is good. I mean, right now our ship is detailed with a basic scanner. Can't really do anything for say, and we're gonna have to be somewhat close to do anything, scanning wise.
Gotcha.
But I mean, if you would like to look around, we can try to get some type of get some other targeting systems. The problem is that they are quite pricey.
Yeah, price and then time to install, so...
Yes, and by the looks of things too, we would have to take something out if we want to put it in.
Yeah, well, in that case, we'll leave it alone for now. Keep an eye on prices,
So,
though. If there's any
however,
sales,
if we
there's-
wanted to get close, we do now have we do have the cloaking module
We do have
installed.
the cloak helps, I'm sure, so... But it's only up for a minute, though, so...
Yes, that is true.
Alright, well... Let's, go do our thing, then.
Okay.
okay, so I assume you are warping, correct?
Yep, we'll, catapult over there.
Okay. So you line up, Sid connects you to the officer in charge of the warp ring, and the officer on the other side just goes, "Now, I'm not 100% sure, but weren't you just here?"
Yeah, the warp ring over. We're doing some investigating over in Vivas. The warp ring is out over there, so we have to frequently jump back here to jump out further, going anywhere else. So. No one's contacted you guys about that?
Well, they have contacted us about something here, and it looks like that right now you are currently in debt of 1,500 credits right now.
Oh yeah, I've got that right here. I'll use part of the credits we've saved up from.
I thought they had manually or had transferred that.
Or is this something else that he's popping on us? I guess. I'll ask him the nature of this debt.
The nature, I mean, it seems that your medical debt has not been paid.
Did we
Yeah.
not already pay that?
Yeah, I thought.
No, we did that last session.
Captain, I sent the credits over a cycle ago.
I was gonna say, pretty sure we already
Yeah.
paid that off.
Well, I'm looking here, and it looks like that you have not paid it off. And unfortunately, I can't let you use this unless you pay it off.
Right. Well,
Well, I guess
so what other options do we have?
we've got to land and try to figure out what's going on with it then.
We could just call him out for its bluff. I mean, it's not the best idea in the world, but
I want to speak to a supervisor.
Are you saying that to the guy?
Yeah.
Are you supervisor? Why do you need to speak to a supervisor?
Well, just to confirm, because we already got charged previously, but we're pretty sure my AI buddy here is telling me we already transferred that. So.
Well, you already. Let me check.
Sure.
I'm seeing here. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my mistake. They don't tell us everything. When we need to be told.
You're telling me you guys don't have automated systems that just automatically.
Well, I mean, it kind of. It's more the fact that they need to file the transfer.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I see. I will get the warp ring ready for you.
You do that.
And the terminal shuts off.
Make a note of this and get me the proper information to take care of to the place and complaint once we're done with this.
Yes, of course, Captain.
And so the warp ring kind of lines up and everything, and y'all get lined up to take off.
Okay.
And so with that, you make your way to the last known location of the GSU tug. Okay. And so, you fly out and you look around for a bit. And just slightly off the distance, there looks to be some like large object that you can see, roughly the size of your ship.
Hit it with a scanner real quick once we're in range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do in fact move up on it, and I will now activate it. And you get up closer to it, and as you end up reaching within 2,400 meters, 24,000 meters, you end up getting close enough that you do in fact notice that it is a ship. However, it looks like that even though the power is on, it does look like that the engines are off on this thing. So, and it is just very slowly drifting.
Okay. I kind of want to make 2 scans
Yeah.
I can think of. Life
Okay.
and what
The
Life-
ooze.
things are functioning on the ship.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that...
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you want to see life and things that are functioning?
Yeah.
Okay. So you end up moving up. Let me check again what your range is. Do you have the cloaking module on?
Yeah, we'll turn that on we'll
Okay.
give that a test drive for now while we're moving in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming scanners still work while I'm doing that. It's just weapons only.
Weapons are just down. You also can't overclock anything while you're using it.
Got it.
Well, you technically can overclock it, but it disables
It'll
the
just
thing
drop
immediately.
It. Yeah, just drop it immediately.
Weapons are just completely disabled, so you have to disable the cloak first.
Yeah.
What kind of cooldown does the cloak normally have?
As
like
soon
1
as
minute
as soon as it's
uptime, but-
disabled, you have to you can have someone manually work on it, but it takes 1 minute for them to manually work
Gotcha.
on it and turn it on. But if you leave it alone, it's going to take roughly an hour.
Okay,
So,
good to know.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll close in with the Quick cloak. How much time does a scan typically take?
Well, a scan, it's more of like an action or something like that.
Okay,
It's
so like
based,
6 seconds. Okay.
yeah, very, very, very short
Once
time.
per round, basically.
So, well, the scan's pretty much instant. It's more the fact that him reading the information is.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, an action's more like 2 seconds because 3
Yeah,
actions
true.
makes a round, so something like that.
True.
Something like that, I'm sure.
Something like that. Yeah, let me find. Here we go. Ship rolls. Okay. Yeah, let me find his range real quick. What level are you? Are you trained, expert?
I
Trained.
think we're just trained because we're just level 1.
Yeah, just
Can't
level
be
1.
expert in anything
Got it.
until
Okay.
At least level 2.
So
Or
yeah,
3.
so it looks like you can be 15,000 away, which is about right there. So, you get within 15,000 meters from it. He does a scan. So you wanted to do for life forms and for the modules
what-
that are down, right?
The modules that are like functioning and whatever.
Yeah.
Does life forms include the ooze, or is that a separate scan again? On its own?
You have no clue.
Okay.
So
Have we?
yeah, I
have we
need.
developed a way to scan for the ooze now that we've studied that a little bit, or not yet?
You can do that, but that would be a separate
That's okay.
scan. Yeah.
we can do
So
3
yeah,
scans then.
go ahead and give me like secret checks for those.
So you want me to do 3?
Yeah,
So
and do
life
them all on your
forms,
roll.
Systems and the ooze.
That's 1. This is 2. And this is 3.
Okay. So in order, what do you want me to scan for?
I guess we should do life forms first,
Okay.
just to check if there's anyone still on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
'Cause we can already see the system. The ship's still running, but we don't know
Yeah.
what all.
Yeah.
But we're not aware if anyone's actually on it or not. So we're checking that first.
next, do you want to try and scan for the ooze, or do you want to
Yeah,
check?
we can do an ooze on the second one, and then
Okay.
systems on the third.
So people, ooze, and then modules.
Okay. People, ooze, and modules. Okay. So, as for the life forms, when you scan it, you end up seeing. It doesn't tell you the types, but it does tell you that currently, and let me count this. So currently, if I've counted this correctly, there are 11 life forms still present on the ship.
Okay, so it's basically a full crew.
Yes, you do. Yeah, and you do notice that they are like scattered throughout the ship.
Okay.
So,
Are they moving at all, or just? Just on
you
the
notice a couple of them are moving around the bridge and everything, but as for the ones scattered throughout the ship, they're all pretty much sitting within the same room.
Got it. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So- That a couple people are trying to fix the situation, while everyone else is trying to discuss what to do. Got
Yeah. As for the ooze check here, you do notice that you scan for the ooze, and it does show you that the ooze is all within the ventilation shafts, and you even see there's a huge source of it that's just moving throughout the ventilation shafts itself.
Good.
Like it is
That's
like there's
not
a
good
lot of
stuff.
it confined in one area, just kind of like moving throughout the vents.
got it.
Gotcha. And the modules?
And the modules, as you do a scan, you As you do a scan, you do notice that the engine, of course, is offline, which you already assumed. But as for the others, you're not entirely sure. You know that the weapons are online,
Okay.
but you couldn't figure out anything else. It's something about the ship is something's jamming the any comms going outside of it.
Gotcha.
What about comms going in?
Comms,
we were trying to handle.
comms are not going in or out.
Alright, well, there's no way to get on board without either a teleporter or just docking with the ship, is there?
Actually, sir, it seems that there are multiple ways to get on. Now, 2 of them are quite easy. We can go on the starboard or the port airlocks and connect our ship to there. Should be an easy way to get in. The only problem is if we do that, it'll set off the alarm. So if any crew that's on board hears that, there's a chance they might try to kill us.
Yeah.
But then I could also try to sneak us toward the back. And if I were to sneak us toward the back of the ship, well, if the engines for some weird reason turned on, well, that would damage our ship pretty well. However, if I'm able to get you in fast enough and they don't turn the engines on, well, you can sneak in through the back, which, by the looks of it, won't set off any alarms.
Alright. Any other options?
They're probably working on trying to get the engines up at the moment, so
Right.
we'd be on some sort of time crunch, and we don't know how long it'd be.
Well, with that too, you do notice that none of the life forms on the ship are in fact toward the back of the ship where the engines are.
So no one's actually
Yeah, you don't see anything like any life forms back there.
okay.
Yeah, we saw there's a couple on the bridge that are obviously working, and then the rest are condensed in one room or something like that.
They're like scattered throughout the ship in multiple rooms,
okay.
but they're
Multiple
not
rooms,
they're not at the engines.
Gotcha.
Unless the engine's somehow connected to the front of the ship. So,
John, a question.
yeah.
Big question here. Does the life form scanner include robots?
Life forms do not include robots.
Okay, cool. So it's technically have some sort
life
of
form scanners look for 2 things. One is a heat signature, and 2, it looks for any type of I guess you could say kind of like a fleshy core almost is the best way to put it. Like it's looking almost for like a heartbeat.
Okay.
So that's like the 2 layers that it goes with, and the only ones that match were the 11 that you saw.
Okay. So basically, we don't know if they have any robots trying to do the engines.
Yeah, you're not sure if there's any robots in the ship.
Gotcha. Alright, well. I don't know, Sid, what do you think would... Do you think this is suspicious, or do you think we can risk exposing ourselves, flashing our lights at them to let them know we're here and we'd like to talk? And
Well,
we're here.
considering the situation, I'm not entirely... I mean, if their engines are off at the current moment, and right now it does... I'm not entirely sure, but it does seem to be that their shields are not currently online. Unless they are using a certain module to try to hide their shields, which is very, very uncommon. I would have to say their engines and shields must be offline at the moment, which kind of means that it might be that the crew is not exactly, I guess you could say, in the capacity to, I guess to not only... I'm not good with words, sir. Okay.
It's all good, Sid.
And I think it would probably be best that we just go on ahead and did what we needed to
Yeah,
do,
just jump
as
on,
it
see
probably
what's
doesn't
going
seem
on,
like
stay
even
in
if we
business.
even if
Got
we
it.
told them that we were here, I don't think they could contact us in any way.
Right, because their comms are currently out.
Yes,
Alright,
and
well,
they wouldn't be in the situation if everything was under control.
in that case, what do you guys think? Stealthily, or should we just talk regularly and go with it? Risk the alarm.
See, if we do it stealthily, they might end up thinking that we're after that, like we're bandits.
Right.
But if we don't, or if we just go in there, we would have a chance to maybe like explain what's going on and try to figure out what happened to them.
Right.
Yeah, you see Benjamin kind of raise his hand a little bit, and he goes, "What if we?
I forgot you're here, Benjamin. My bad.
Yeah. What if we? Now, hear me out. What if we snuck in the back and we repaired their engines?
I mean, are their engines currently out of order?
I mean, either ways they're off, which means that if we head toward the back, we could always repair their engines to try to seem like we're friendly. Based on what Sid said, is if we go in the side, it's going to set off an alarm, which could mean that
Which is understandable. Just means we'll have to be prepared for a fight if that's what it comes to for whatever reason.
Yes, but then there's also the chance that there's something also in the back as well, which, I mean, if there's no life forms back there, and, well, based on our scans of where the ooze, I guess, is centrally located, it's at the current moment it's not back there. So if we can make our way to the back, there is a chance we could probably try to get, their engines or shields or something online. Now I'm not 100% sure where it's located, but if we could find it, maybe we can get it online and make the crew believe we're on their side. Because, I mean, what would be the point of turning on the engines if we're, there to kill them?
Well, we'd have to inspect the engines first to make sure they're just not shut off on purpose. But yeah, you got an idea there. Yeah, we can give it the old sneak in through the backside and poke around and give it a look-see. Alright. Mrs. Miss Whiskers, would you kindly take the ship around to the backside? And we'll investigate from there.
Okay. So y'all pull the ship to the backside, and you'll start to get all that ready, essentially.
All right. Captain will once again jump aboard for this one. You guys can. Let's see. We'll take weapons. Intelligence as usual. The usual. We'll do weapons, intelligence, and then we'll actually add Benjamin as the engineer for this one. Keep our main engineer on board for now.
Okay. So,
Unless you guys want to play one of your other characters and bring them aboard. But yeah.
Okay. So you want the captain, Char, the intelligence, and then Peter, weapon specialist.
Yep.
Along with Benjamin.
Benjamin, the engineer, chief junior engineer.
Okay.
In training.
Captain, if I could chime in, are you sure you want to take, well, the the not so talkative. I, I don't know. I guess you could say rookie on this one.
Talking about Benjamin? Benjamin's pretty talkative. I don't know what you're going on about, Sid. Talks to us all the time.
Hmm.
I mean, if you would like to take him, that's all. That's all for you, Captain. But I would probably suggest you take the better of your engineers onto the ship.
We can do that if he wants to jump along. We'll leave the weapon specialist behind then for now. Let him cover our ship in case something happens.
Your weapon specialist, if you leave him behind, then that means Waffles is being left behind completely.
No, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, that's right. Alex
Waffles
plays
is
both engineer.
yeah, he
Okay,
plays.
yeah.
Alex plays engineer. So
Trying to get the balance. Okay, yeah, we'll do engineer instead of intelligence. That's where I was confused.
okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Intelligence can stay on board and do scans and stuff. We're good.
Okay, so you've got so you've currently got captain, engineer,
Captain.
and weapon specialist.
Weapon
Do you want to take
specialist.
anyone
what
else
was
with
the other
you?
one that
You were-
Recon, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
recon was
Recon
for
was
him.
the last one. Actually, that's a good point. No, Recon's more for like playing that side though, right?
Uh,
Or would Recon be relevant here? More relevant here.
I mean, maybe. See, recon's meant to be like more of a ground trooper.
Yeah.
You know.
Versus weapon specialist, which is
Yeah, weapon specialist is more of like he's your like ship quartermaster.
Oh, I've
and-
been getting that mixed up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take Recon. Then. We'll take
and then
Recon.
yeah, Recon's really a class that's like he's more of just like your kind of like I guess you could say bounty hunter of the team. He's meant for tracking
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Gotcha. We'll take Recon then.
Okay.
That might be helpful for searching for
So
stuff.
you're taking captain, recon, and engineer.
Yep.
Okay, just those three.
And Benjamin, if he wants to tag along, maybe learn a thing or two about. That's up to him. I'll leave it up.
So, well, the question is, do you want to leave both? Do you want to bring both engineers with you, or do you want to leave one on the ship?
Yeah, we can leave Benjamin back on the ship.
Okay.
For now. Have someone who knows how to work the systems
Got it.
on both ships.
Okay, so. Okay, so you're sending Captain Crickneck, Lipe, and Dreg.
Yep.
Cool. So they fly over, get connected, and they end up opening the doors, and connecting them, and opening the doors and everything. You'll walk in, where as soon as the doors close behind you, you notice that they disconnect immediately to try to get the ship at a safe distance. And then you almost like in a weird static, you can hear Sid come through your watch and go,
Oh, okay, Cap. You're inside the ship. Commute is off. You're on your own.
Guys, sounds like we're on our own for this one. I have to get used to not calling out Sid for this one. He's been a pretty big help so far.
so.
We'll have to get him to install one of those temporary modules like from that one game.
Okay. So, all of you kind of look over toward the airlock, and you see a terminal. And as
Intelligent. Wait.
Intelligence. Wait.
Recon, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's either going to be Recon or the Captain, I think.
Try to send, yeah,
Actually, technically anyone.
technically anyone. In fact, does the cap? Is it even really anything? Yeah, I was gonna say, is it anything specific? Any specific reason intelligence would be running after the terminals, or is that just Captain being a?
I think that
You talking about with this?
Yeah, using terminals. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this is just a terminal to open the freaking door. It's not.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah,
no. You
he'll
don't have
press
to
the
hack
button.
into it. It's
He'll
a simple
just
terminal.
press the button to open it then.
Just press the button to open it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So who's gonna press the button?
Recon, take point on this one. Why not?
Okay.
You haven't been on any of these in a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so,
Okay.
Recon goes over. He presses the button, and you see the doors. They open just slightly, not enough to look in the room, but just slightly, kind of get jammed. And then a second later, they swing open. You feel a blast of essentially you feel like a blast of extra pressurized air blast you in the face, and you look out in front of you, and you can see the inside of the tug. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Heck yeah. Finally, it's a what?
Wow. That is what we
Well,
call a douche move.
I don't know about you guys, but if they've got anything like us, they probably have an AI on the ship as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that someone's aware that we're on board at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they do have an AI on the ship, it's AI probably is going to alert them to, hey, someone just opened the back doors.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be
Benjamin's always got
fine.
the best ideas.
All I can you say Benjamin has the best idea. All I can think of is Charles from the Henry Stigman stuff.
Oh man. But yeah, so that's the that's the fun
that
part
map
there.
loads so much faster now, Johnny.
Yeah.
Might need to check the file size.
So
I think part of it is it's an animated background.
Maybe, yeah, it could just be like an animation thing, which is, I don't know, weird to me, because every time I've heard of people using like animated stuff, they're like, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. But then,
yeah, no, I mean
This,
that
so it's
that
like,
files. Well, the thing is it's just an ambient thing in the background, so it's like
Yeah.
it's like a 4.5 minute video playing. So
yeah.
it is. I tried dropping it down by using a WebM format,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's still quite large. Like if I go check, let's see if I could find this real quick.
'Cause the thing you have to realize is like every time you fire that screen up, we have to re-download because it doesn't like save like a temporary.
Yeah, which
Anywhere
is
on the
kind of
computers.
a weird thing. I don't know why.
It's
but
it's like a safety thing, like a browser.
It's-
Like
let's see.
it's all browser related.
Oh, it's
running through a browser.
53 megabytes.
Yeah,
It's not that big, but
it shouldn't. Yeah, nah,
I don't know.
shouldn't have caused that much.
Whatever. But yeah. So
Heck yeah.
but yeah, that's where we're gonna end it for today.
Alright.
So
Excited for next one.
yeah.
Alright.
Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you press the like, subscribe buttons down below, and please comment. What is the mystery behind all of this? How do you think it's all connected? And is this even connected? Has their entire thing been a series of side quests that somehow led to this, and they're not sure why? Put your predictions down below, and also tell us. Well, do you think their selection of crew is going to be best for this mission? Put everything down below, and we'll see you guys later. This is Cast of eDIOCRACY saying, peace out. Have an amazing night or day wherever the heck you are, and we will see all of you in the next episode of eDIOCRACY. Bye-bye!
Bye. Also, the answer is G,
Bye.
which is everything. Bye.